Hey, where's the drums? Oh, there they are. Ha! Hey, where's the drums? Oh, there they are. Ha!
Ooh, baby, give me one more chance. I want you back like Michael. I wanna kiss you like Prince. So let's get it on like Marvin Gaye, like Heather. I want for you like that. Come on. I want you, please let me back in your heart. When I had you to myself, I didn't want you around. Those pretty faces always made you stand out in the crowd. But someone picked you from the bunch. One glance was all it took. Yeah, now it's much too late for me to take a second look. I'll give you time and say I want to shake you like please let me going out of sight in your heart. I'll darling, I was right to let you go crazy. But now since I see when I just want to make you smile, I want you back like Michael. I want to kiss you like Prince. Let's get it on like a Marvin Gaye, like everywhere. Write a song for you like this. You're over my head, I'm out of my mind, thinking I was born in the wrong time. One of a kind, living in a world gone plastic. Baby, you're so classic. Every street you walk on, I leave tear stains on the grave. Following the girl, I didn't even move around. 4 dozen roses, anything for you to notice. All the way to 7 Asia, are doing it tonight, you style. I'm gonna pick you up in a Cadillac like a gentleman, bringing glamour back, keep it real to real in the way I feel.
I can walk you down the aisle.
I wanna feel you like Michael, gonna kiss you like the Prince of Pop. Let's get it on like Marvin Gaye, like Heatherway. We're gonna mash them up like this. You're over my head, I'm out of my mind, thinking I was born in the wrong time. Baby, won't you please let me back in your heart?
Thank you for the host.
Sing like a movie star on the silver screen. Baby, now since I see you in his arms, I want you back.
Nick, thank you for the host.
I can read you like a magazine. No.
How's everybody doing? Shadow, thank you for the host. I'm good. I'm excited to start work tomorrow. Got orientation tomorrow afternoon. Woo! Mod party, right? Like 3 of my mods are here. 4 if Shadow's actually here. Because you guys rock, so you deserve that sword. And I see a few regulars hanging out. Skull, thank you for the host. So today we're going to finish those prompts that we started on Friday. For those of you that weren't here Friday, I found a bunch of writing prompts that my brother had shared on Facebook. And we made it through about half of them on Friday. So we're going to try to make it through. I think there's like 20 something prompts left. So we're going to try and make it through the rest of those, and then see where we're at in the stream, and maybe I'll read you guys some more of the manuscript, or we'll talk about other writing stuff or life stuff, whatever. I know Friday a few of the prompts got pretty dark, and I know there are a couple more that are maybe not quite as dark, but they are kind of along those lines, so, fair warning. Feel free to talk about anything in my chat. Like I said, we got kind of heavy on Friday, but I heard from a few of my viewers that it really helped them being able to talk about some things. So I want everyone to know that you can talk about anything in my chat. Anything that's not, racist or hateful or anything like that. But anything else goes. So feel free to talk about anything. This is a safe place. I will tell you that. We are all very supportive. So anything you need, we're here for you. Don't feel like you can't talk to any of us. So, hey Sky, welcome. So that being said, I will get my presentation up and we will get started. F1%. So you guys should now see in a bit here. Give the delay time. I guess we'll start with this one. I think we talked about this one at the end of the stream on Friday. Let me know if you guys don't see the Google Slides presentation. Sometimes my hotkeys don't actually work. So I want to make sure you guys actually see what we're talking about. As I like to have the prompts up on the screen for when people kind of just pop in so that they know what we're talking about. So you guys should see a purpley background and my picture in the corner. Is that what you guys see? Yes? No? Maybe? Hey, Wizard, what's up? I haven't seen you in a long time. Just you in chat, no such. This stupid thing. Like I said, my hotkeys don't always work. Which, for whatever reason, I don't know. They're set so they shouldn't interfere with any programs, but they do anyway. So in about 15 seconds, you'll see it. Thanks, Nick, for letting me know. So like I said, I think we talked about this one on Friday at the end of the stream, but we had some really good discussion going on it, so I think we'll start with it again, just to kind of get things going again. You come to the realization that the fence around the orphanage is to keep the public safe from the children there, not the other way around. So, set the orphans on fire. Skull, you're terrible. So I think some of the things that we had talked about was, are they dangerous? And if they are, how are they dangerous? Like, is it just, do they have powers, or is it something else? Because there's a couple of different ways you could go with it, kind of thing. Are they disturbed children, or are they are they kind of like the X-Men where they have abilities, but maybe they're not for the good kind of thing? Zombie orphans, Sis says. That could be, who knows? And I gotta shut my door. So this one's kind of a really good one, because you could also explore, like, why they're there and things like that. Do you remember what I said last stream for this one? Yes, yes, Nick, I do remember something you said about this. I'll let you decide if you want to repeat that or not. Just remember, you're walking a fine line with it. Maybe they're just thieves, like Oliver Twist. That could be. I like that idea. Nick had an interesting one on Friday that kind of started another discussion. It wasn't necessarily a bad one, but yeah. What other ones did we have? We had something else too. And now I can't think of it. This is why I make notes. Because I forget things all the time, because I've literally got like 20 projects usually in my head. Can I roll a d20 for a perception check? Absolutely, Wizard. Go for it. Do the orphans know that it's them that are the danger, or do they think it's the outside world? Right? Like, that's another thing you could explore is whether the orphans know why the fence is there. Like, do they just assume that it's, like any other orphanage where, it's to keep them safe kind of thing, or, to mark property lines or whatever, however you want to put it. Maybe they are told they are being protected. They know they're flammable now. Oh my god, Skull. Skull is all for kill it with fire type thing. So yeah, this one you could explore a lot of different options. Excuse me. And each one really kind of gives a different storyline, really. Because then, how does there being a danger affect, the society? Is their orphanage the only one of this kind? Are there others, across the nation, across the globe kind of thing? So there's quite a bit you could do with this. The other one that I brought up with this was kind of similar to Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Riggs. If you've not read it, I highly recommend it. Combustible kids. Last stream I said that it takes place in the 20s and 30s and they're black kids. Yeah, that is what Nick said. As I said, he kind of walked a fine line there, but at the same time, if it was in the 20s and 30s, that could be a very real possibility, because when you're writing in a specific time period, you want to make things match that time period. So, I mean, obviously, if it took place nowadays, that might not be exactly politically correct, as we have, evolved as a society over the last 90 years. But if it was set back then, that could very well be a thing. But it is kind of a fine line on the racial topic. So, I mean, you might have a hard time getting a publisher to go for that, but you never know. Incendiary infants or internment camps, right? Is it an internment camp? Because then you get into, like, World War II with the Japanese internment camps, and that whole, really, it was a mess. That whole mistake, if you ask me. But it's another way to, or I saw the kids that got kicked out of alternate. That was the other one you mentioned, yes. Going back to the Ransom Riggs thing, though, Miss Peregrine's, the main character, Jacob, sees this creature. He doesn't know what it is or anything, and then all these things start happening. They think he's kind of crazy, and he takes this vacation with his dad to this little island in Wales, in the UK. And he stumbles across what's called a time loop, where these children from the 1940s who have special abilities are protected in this time loop, but they don't age. And because they've been in this time loop for so long, if they stepped out of it, they would rapidly age and pretty much die because of it, if they stayed out of the time loop for too long. So it's kind of that kind of thing where the time loop would act as the fence in this prompt. And while the children aren't necessarily a danger, it's keeping the public safe and also keeping the kids safe. So that would be an example of this. I haven't seen the movie yet. I'm kind of on the fence about seeing the movie for Miss Peregrine's because they changed some minor details that actually end up kind of changing some relationships between characters, in my opinion. I probably will go see it, but the changes weren't necessary, is what gets me. But yeah, it's a really good book series overall. I really like it. All right, we'll move on to the next prompt. First new one. A mother explains to her 8-year-old daughter why she is about to kill her. This one kind of hits a little close to home for me because my daughter is 8, and I could not imagine any reason that I would ever want to do this to her. She drives me nuts sometimes, but never would I ever hurt my daughter, or my son for that matter. My son is almost 6. So this one's kind of one of those, to me as a parent, if I was going to write this prompt, that mother better have a damn good reason kind of thing. And gang initiation, that could be, I mean, that's a pretty harsh gang. I mean, I know most initiations do end up using murder of some kind. Natural law that your kids drive you crazy at times. Yes, Wizard, totally. I love them to death, but oh my god, some days. Some days they drive me absolutely bonkers. You could also go, like, other than the gang initiation that Nick says, zombie apocalypse, that could be. You could also go the paranormal route with, you know, there's possession or other things like that. Avoid a more horrific death for the child, right? So it's kind of a mercy killing, provided that the mother is going to do it in a humane fashion or as humane as possible. So, I mean, there's a couple of different ways you could go with this. It's maybe she's a sick bitch and wants a better kid. I mean, that could be too, Nick. Stop apologizing for your random ass things. We all have crazy ideas sometimes. I don't know that you've been around for some of the things that have happened in my manuscript when I've read them. So I'm going to tell you, stop apologizing, because some of the things in my manuscript are just as fucked up as that. So stop apologizing. Trust me, if you offend somebody, I will let you know. But you're not likely to offend very many people in this chat right now. But that is a route you could go. Maybe she is unstable in some way, and she just, you know, sorry for saying sorry. You're fine, Nick. With some indigenous tribes, when they are taken over, the men would be killed and the women and female children would be raped and tortured. Some wouldn't wish that upon their children. Exactly, sis. Like that kind of thing. China 2-child rule and no male heir. There's a good one. That's true. I think recently they've actually lifted that, or they only recently removed that rule. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Was that they recently removed that rule, that more people are allowed to have more children now. So I mean that kind of thing would be possible too. But yeah, there's some possibilities that you could go with. I would say none of them are exactly all sunshine and rainbows, but the mercy killing type is definitely something you could go for, and then you can explore why she would need to do such a thing, like the zombie apocalypse or any kind of apocalypse really, or the indigenous tribes type. So those are all good. I'm cooking, but I'll still be here in and out for just a bit. Oh, that's fine, sis. Go ahead. Next one. Killing someone gives you all the time they had left. So you could pair this one with the previous one and kind of Nick's idea of well, you know, she's messed up and oh, excuse me. And so she wants all the time her child had left. One of the suggestions on the original post was, but what if they didn't have much time left? Like, what if by killing them, you cut that time short so there isn't any time for you to inherit, kind of thing? Which I think is just kind of getting a little too technical, but when my husband read this, he made the comment of, is there a cost? That would be cool. Right? Like what happens to you when you kill them and get their time? Like, do you lose a little bit of your humanity by doing it? I can talk today, I swear. Or is there no cost? Like, is there no consequence, kind of thing either? Like, what kind of consequence is there to it? Some sadistic fuck would go around killing babies, right? Reading the comments on this one, there was somebody who was like, well, time to become an abortion doctor and stuff. Like, those were really kind of messed up comments. But there would be people out there that would do that. Like, you get the time, but you lose something or change physically. Like, that could be a good thing, because you would want some kind of counter to it that would make people maybe not quite so eager to do it, maybe. And then, like, how has society adapted to this? My husband, like I was saying, had read this one and said, if you guys have watched Death Note, the anime, is there something like you would get the Shinigami eyes, where you can see how much time people have left, and then you only take, you know, whoever's got like the most or whatever. What if you were a suicide bomber, right? Like, does suicide still exist then? Like, if you're in that kind of context, like, because if you're killing yourself, but you're also taking people with, does that negate you killing yourself? And yes, there would absolutely need to be balance. The good would be balanced by the bad, right? So yeah, this one could get interesting with exploring the balance part. You gain time but age normally, so you can take 3 people's lives, live for maybe 180 years, but you look 182, right? Get the time but lose your soul. Right. And then, like, this also kind of goes along the lines of the movie In Time, where you stop aging at, like, what is it, 23 or something, and then you've got like a timer on your arm that counts down to your death, basically, and like you can wager your time, and like your time is your currency. So the more trivial things like coffee that you buy cut your life short in that way. There can be only one, right? We're getting into Highlander, right? With what Nick said about the whole, you live until 180 or whatever, combine that with the one Yeah, I couldn't remember if it was 25 or 23, sis. But combine this one with Nick's idea, and then one from Friday night was that humans discover that that when you reach the age of 130, you start to regenerate and look younger. You just have to make it to 130. And I think we talked about, well, what's stopping you from reaching 130? Like, what are the conditions that are keeping people from reaching this regularly, kind of thing? And so maybe combine that with this, and then you hit 130, but you're still taking lives, and you're getting younger, and you're gaining more time, kind of thing. So that could be a little added problem or idea with it. So that could be an interesting story to write too. And yeah, it was a good movie. I kind of wish they'd made a sequel to see what Justin Timberlake's character and I don't remember the female actress, but what the two characters did after they made it out of the town, kind of thing. All right, next one. Angel feathers were as valuable as human souls in these parts, so he needed to be very careful. This one kind of makes you go, well, one, what's the value of a human soul? Two, what reason is there to, be trading in human souls or angel feathers for that matter? To me, this kind of brings to mind maybe more of, like, it's not set necessarily in our world, but more like in a demonic world, in a world of demons where that would be a thing, where they would be trading in human souls and angels and whatnot as their currency. And so therefore there would be value in human souls. Because in terms of our world, in the real world, I don't know that would be a thing. So I don't know that you could do this as like an urban fantasy or an urban fiction type thing. I think you would need to make this an actual, fiction thing. Urban fantasy is something set in our world, but has fantasy elements like dragons or, creatures, etc. Amanda Seyfried, that's who it was. She's a good actress. I like her. So this one could get really interesting. You could go a lot of different routes with this. Do you tell it from presumably an angel's point of view, or from a human, or whoever's trading in these goods, or all three? I like to bounce around between point of views, because then you get to explore different things. I guess prisons would be overflowing. Then we'd have to do the death penalty more. Then you'd have to put restrictions on who is allowed to flip the switch. Oh, for the last one? For the killing people gets you the time and everything? I would agree. That would get crazy. Yeah, we would definitely have a problem with, like, prisons and things. Sorry, last time. No, you're fine. Friday night, I know you were spending time with your girlfriend. Totally cool. But we had a lot of moments where chat continued to go even when I moved on to the next one. So feel free to continue discussing things, and we'll keep kind of bouncing back and forth. It's all good. I like it when the conversation keeps going, even if I pop on to the next topic. I try to wait for chat to kind of catch up and exhaust their ideas before I move on, but it doesn't always work. But that is a good point that you would have with this one. You would have a lot of problems with crime and everything, because you'd have people doing this over and over and over again, and then, like you said, who is allowed to flip the switch, because they're essentially killing somebody then. So would they then get the time that that person had left, and whatnot. So that one is an interesting point. I'll try to let you guys catch up with the angel feathers one here. Sorry for my squeaky chair. I'm trying not to lean back too much. I fidget too much, though. What is this? Does everybody know that it's a thing? Like, is it well known that killing adds time? Or is it just a couple crazy guys that find out and exploiting this? Right, Nick? Like, that's a good point. Like, because if you don't use, like, the Shinigami Eyes suggestion that my husband had, or, you know, maybe it's a few people that do have that ability that are exploiting it, you know, how do they keep it under wraps? Because, yeah, if it was a common knowledge thing, you'd have, like Skull brought up, the problem with prisons overflowing with murderers, and then basically your executioners are going to be immortal and kind of thing. And cults coming out of this, right? Yeah, you could definitely have a lot of cults coming out of it, of people that want to be immortal and use it, kind of thing. I mean, even with this one or the angel feathers one, you could have cults that you know deal in these things, that trade these things, or you know, find victims or whatever, kind of a supply and demand type thing. So you could almost combine the two and make a really interesting story then. Because, you know, what if you're killing somebody and you get that time and then you sell their soul for, you know, whatever kind of thing. So, you know, you could have some really interesting stories between the two. Hey, Cess! How's it going? I haven't talked to you in, like, ages. Where people would be suspicious of the elderly. Right, Skull? Like, it could get really interesting. If this person is protecting the angel... Is this person protecting the angel feathers? Right? Like, what if they're not an angel, or, you know, what if they're just a human, but they're carrying angel feathers, kind of thing? Like, what, perhaps they hold memories of something, or something. You're right. Skull, or Sis, that brings to mind, an anime called, Tsubasa. That's Tsubasa. And in it, this girl is, it's been a while. It's been a while since I've watched it, but, basically, she's supposed to be this prophet of some kind. Her memories get scattered, like, and they turn into these feathers, and they get scattered across all these different dimensions. And her best friend has to go and collect them all, kind of thing, in order for her to get all of her memories back. But the catch for him is that once he puts all these memories back together for her, she won't remember him. Like a caretaker for a feather vault, and those feathers are used for reincarnation later on. I do like reincarnation. I use reincarnation in Cormanther, or not Cormanther, A Tattooed Heart. So I do like the theory of that. Yes, sis, it is. That is true. Which I also like Sakura. She's talking about Cardcaptor Sakura, for those of you that don't know. I kind of wish they had done more with Tsubasa, because it kind of just ends. I watched Reservoir Chronicles, so I don't know if there's more to it that I just didn't get to see or what. I watched it on Netflix, so I don't know if there's more that's out there that's just not on Netflix or what, but I really liked it, and I wish they'd done more with it. But they kind of just leave you hanging. But I like your idea of like them being the caretaker of the feathers, and that these feathers are then used for something else, you know, like reincarnating the human souls kind of thing. So that could be an interesting one too. Seth got sucked into gaming for a while. Hey, nothing wrong with that. That happens to pretty much all of us in this stream, I'm pretty sure. Pretty much everyone here is a streamer of some sort, or is often in streams. Sis, will you do a shout out for Skull, please? For Skull and Cold. That would be awesome. Thank you. Either command works, by the way. I left both commands in there. Sis knows what I'm talking about. She helped create the commands. So yeah, this one you could do a lot of different things with. But the feathers give you power, so people want them and try to take them. Right? Like that's a really good one. Oh yeah, Nick can do it too because he's a. Oh, don't capitalize him though, because I don't know if it'll work that way. Because I don't know if the link will actually like work that way. But yes, both of either shout out or SO works as a command, Nick. You can type !commands and get a list of commands for my channel as well. So both of them are great gamers, great to follow. I really recommend both of them. If you guys want to go ahead and like talk about your schedule or whatever, so people know when, or you know, link to your Twitters or whatever, go for it. There you go. There's Sis with the commands. Sis is on top of this. Alright, so the next prompt is, in a world where everyone can read minds, you are the only person who cannot, and your mind cannot be read either. Now, this one could be interesting. Because I say if you take away either parts of those, where it's everyone can read minds, but you're the only person who can't, and leave off the and your mind can't be read either, that could be an interesting one. Or everyone can read minds, and you can too, but your mind cannot be read by anyone. Kind of thing. So, like, you could tweak this a little bit and have an even more interesting one. Or you stick with this, and it's kind of like, okay, well, how did this happen? Or, you know, and they kill you for being a threat or imprison you, right? Because if you're the only one that can't read minds, or they can't read your mind, then, you know, you would be seen as a threat, definitely. And so are you on the run? Are you in prison? Like, there's a couple of different ways you could go about that. And who knows, maybe if you are on the run, you get, calling everyone freaks to myself. Right? Like, you could have all these little thoughts and nobody would know, kind of thing. So that means you might have thoughts that could destroy the world, like secrets, right? So this one would be interesting to explore, you know, the various aspects of, you know, because I like the idea of leaving out that you're the only person who can't, and like that you can read minds, but your mind can't be read. So you would know what everyone's thinking about you as you're a threat, but they wouldn't know what you're thinking about, what you're planning, what you're trying to do to protect yourself, kind of thing. So that could be interesting. Oaken Hearts, prove it. Right? Like, that would be the fun part. Mom of two, prove it. My kids aren't often on stream, and I'm not going to call them up here just to put them on stream either, because I don't know you, and I prefer to protect my children. Thank you very much. So please, no. because that kind of makes you sound like a creep. You may mean it as a joke, but that kind of makes you sound like a creep. Wanting to see my children. So, no. The reason you can't... Nax! Hey, Nax! Use what you just said as a command. Is there a reason you can't have your mind read because you have a bigger purpose? Like, you know something that could change the world, like this is right? Oaken Hearts, I do talk about my kids and my family, but I am not going to explicitly talk about them right now, especially like that. 1 second. I'm going to take care of something here. Yes, you have a dragon. We thought that was a very appropriate one for you. We didn't think anyone else could have that. Poor Oaken. I'm sorry if you think that I am being harsh on that, Fatal and Felony, but as a mother, I am going to protect my kids and put their safety first. I'm not going to suddenly tell a stranger every little detail like that. That is not cool. So, yeah. Not cool. And, yeah. We're just gonna leave it at that. How are you, Nax? It's been ages. Yeah, don't blame you. You probably wanted to eat them or some shit, right? That's the first time I've ever had somebody come in and say something like that, too. I mean, there are times where you might see my kids come into my room, or hear them when they come up to ask a question or something. But I'm not going to explicitly bring my kids up here just for somebody to see them. That's seriously creepy and wrong. So, I eat kids too. Cow kids. Nick. Well, beef is good. But yes, Nax, we missed you. We've missed you lots. You've been missing from chat. So it's good to have you back. She is Lord of Durambes, right? Sheep kids are the best. I've actually never had lamb, Wizard. It always kind of smells weird to me, so I don't ever want to try it. It's the same thing with salmon. I don't like the smell of salmon, so I've never been able to get past the smell to try it. So yeah. It's a whole party in here. Look at this. Chicken kids are good in the morning. We're totally derailing on food here, but it's all good. All right. Next turn the fetus. A lamb can smell a bit soapy. Yeah, I don't know how to describe it, but it's a weird smell, and I just no. I'm sorry for oh no, Wizard, this happens all the time. Pretty much the only time it doesn't happen is when I'm reading my manuscript on stream. So derailment, it happens all the time. I don't have a Tinder. And even if I did, I wouldn't put it in the stream. So, Fatal and Felony, if you're gonna be a creep, I'm also gonna ban you. Being a creep is the fastest way to get banned. So, I don't mind jokes, but things like that, no. Nick. I'll explain the difference right now to people who are wondering why I'm telling Fatal and Felony not to do that, as opposed to Nick. I know Nick. I know he's joking. But Fatal and Felony, I don't know him or her. And to come into my chat and say things like Tinder, or to feel sorry for somebody who is trying to get me to put my kids on camera and thereby risk their safety, I am not okay with this kind of thing, guys. I'm going to stop the stream for a second. I'm going to stop the prompt part for a second. We're going to talk. Because I'm not okay with this kind of thing. I know there are trolls. Don't get me wrong. I know this. Some of my first streams where I was actually gaming, I had trolls. And I had no mods. I am not okay with this kind of thing. In any stream, whether it's mine or anyone else's. This is not okay, guys. If you're here to make comments like that, get out right now. Or my mods will ban you. I have been through stalkers and shit in the last 2 months. Very recently. I am not okay with this shit. So knock it off or get out. I have boundaries. It's not going to happen in this stream. So follow my chat rules or GTFO. Simple as that. Yes, sis, you can. End. That's it. That's all I'm going to say about it. I trust my mods. They know where to draw the line. They know me. So yeah. Don't mind them, Rose. Just enjoy yourself. Yeah. It's bound to happen. I mean, as I have more and more people come in, it's going to happen. I know. That's why I have the mods ID, though. On to the next prompt. You may remove one memory of your choice, and it will never come back. However, that memory will be transplanted into a newborn child. No matter how hard they try, that person will never be able to forget it for as long as they live. Now choose. So this one could get really interesting because you're going to have people that won't care and will just pick their worst memory and doom that child to living with that memory. But then you're also going to have people who will choose a happy memory, their best memory, to give those kids something wonderful to start life with. So I think you could really, really have a good dynamic story with this one, where you've got the two sides of society. And I think you could really actually have a third side of people who like help kids deal with those bad memories, kind of thing. This is a good one, but since it's not the kid's memory, will it matter? Nick, that's a good question. Like, it's being put into that child. It essentially will become their memory because they'll never be able to forget it. So it'll be with them. So like Sis brings up, like, would they know that it wasn't theirs, or would it seem to them like it was theirs, kind of thing. So that could be a hard one. To choose that happy memory but lose it to yourself, right? But I would like to think it would be an older person who is maybe coming to the end of their time who would pick that happy memory, because then, yes, they would lose it, but it would be a short amount of time that they wouldn't have that memory. But they would be giving that happy memory to someone else. I personally would choose a happy memory. Because I don't think I could... I personally, like, myself, my personality would not allow me to choose a terrible memory to give to that child. I couldn't live with myself if I did that. If I doomed this poor innocent kid to a life of dealing with a terrible, terrible memory. You should write this for an RPG board game. I'd play the heck out of that. I've actually never designed a board game or anything. My husband has actually been designing a card game based off of Super Smash Brothers. So I think that would be more my husband's alley than mine. But that's an interesting idea. You could turn it into a game instead. I would pick some really weird shit that happened, like walking in on your parents. You would, Nick. That is so you. I couldn't give my worst memories to Chad, right, sis? Like, there are people out there, those messed up people that totally would, though. Now, there's an interesting thought. Grandpa has 5 kids. Which one does he give his happiest memory to? Also, when would they realize these memories? Some memories in a young child might destroy their mental state, right? Sess, that's a good point, though. Like, that brings up the discussion then of, do you get to choose who this memory goes to, or does it just go to a random child? So that would be something to explore. Imagine someone giving their worst memories to his or her child, right? Happiest memories in another body would be weird. That's true, but I think, what if somebody were really happy they killed someone? Some people would do that, Max. Yeah, I mean, like, there's a lot of different facets with this that you could explore. Because, as Skull brings up, you know, my idea of happiness might be also, might be different from somebody's, and somebody's idea of happiness would be my nightmare kind of thing. It also doesn't say you get to pick the newborn, right? You just get to pick the memory. So I think getting to pick who it goes to kind of, I don't know how I feel about that part. And there's all the different types of memories. Like, some of mine are purely feeling based and others are triggered by sounds and smells. Right. Like, is this an actual memory, like a scene that plays out? Or is it just a feeling that's brought on by something? Like, there are certain songs that make you happy or sad kind of thing. And, like, maybe it's just that song and it'll trigger that feeling in that person kind of thing. Even now it happens, parents passing his or her trouble to the children. Yes. This would be like taking that one step further next, which is an unfortunate reality in our society. But like I said, this could be a really interesting one where you explore, maybe you've got characters on, both sides of it, presumably from the kid's point of view would make the most sense, because then you explore how these memories have affected them growing up, and how they deal with, how the one deals with the good memory and how the other deals with this terrible memory. And then you have the person in the middle who is trying to help, them deal with it, kind of thing. Because I think having those 3 facets to the society makes sense, because you would have people who would care about these children who have to deal with these and would want to help them learn how to cope, kind of thing. This is clearly already happening because we've got toddlers who get inordinately happy at listening to experimental jazz and stuff like that. Right? That's totally a point. Like, what Seth just talked about reminded me of something my sister was talking about yesterday. We had a birthday party for our niece, who turned 3 turns 3 tomorrow. Birthday party was yesterday. But my nephew, my sister's son, has absolutely our grandfather's personality. So his great grandfather. He looks so much like him. He has so many of his mannerisms that we are almost 100% sure that my nephew is our grandfather reincarnate. And my sister was taking my nephew to this auction in southern Iowa last month. And we always went to auctions with our grandfather. It's just something he always did. And it was always a great experience for us. It was a lot of fun. And on the ride down there, she said that Parker asked where they were going. And so she said, we're going to an auction in Indianola. And my nephew, who is 5.5, completely deadpan, goes, we're going to an auction in Indianola? And like, when she told that story yesterday, my brother and I were both like, oh my god. Because that is exactly how my grandfather would say Indianola. Nobody ever told my nephew this, and we've never pronounced it that way. We've always pronounced it Indianola the way it is. And so for us, that was just like, oh my god, how does he know that kind of thing? And she said that he's had it happen. She's had it happen with him before, where he'll say something that is one of those. There's no way he could know that because it was something that our grandfather did and has never been told this kind of thing. So like it gets really like, yeah. All right, so let's scroll back up here. It's happened to me next. My mother is very mentally ill, and that's severely affected me at a young age. Some things you can't forget, and parents influence that. Yes, absolutely, sis. It's rough only because of the residual resentment it caused for years. Being told at 7 that she attempted to end her life while pregnant with me was life-altering, but made me a more resilient person. Not sure if it was better for me as a whole that I knew that, or if I would have been better without that knowledge. Would I have been different now? It's interesting to think about. Exactly, sis. Like, that kind of thing really kind of messes you up, and you have to learn to deal with it kind of thing. There's some things in my past that aren't quite like that, but they're not great. And I learned to move on and deal with it. And then I learned some new things that may have been the cause of those things back then that I didn't know about back then. And it kind of really just makes everything click. For me and my situation. But yeah, that would be really hard to deal with. My cousin used to see my grandfather and talk to him. She still sees people but doesn't like to talk about it anymore. I'm living something like that. In that case, you have to distance from the situation and to look with your own eyes. Right? That's something that you can have a hard time dealing with. I think that goes back to kind of what we talked about on Friday of having a really good support system makes a world of difference. I learned to surround myself with people who value my life, and that has helped. I thrive on stability and seek it out in my world. Exactly, sis. Like I said, having people you can talk to that you know you can talk to who won't judge you for what you're going through makes the hugest difference. Whether it's the kind of things that Sis and Max are talking about or the things we talked about on Friday. Like I said, this is a safe place. My stream is a great place if you need support. We're there for you guys. Skull, I'm just here for the gangbang. Skull busting in to break up the mood. Jeez. Nick, I don't know that my nephew is actually like seeing a ghost or anything. We've never really talked about that kind of thing around him either, so I don't know. We don't really know, but it comes out of nowhere. So yeah, it's nice though, because we miss our grandpa, of course. No, sis, no, you're fine. Like I said, I don't mind. I like my chat to be open to whatever chat needs to talk about. Obviously within limitations as we had earlier, but this kind of thing, you talk if you need to talk. I'm here for anybody that needs it. So, it's all good. Alright, on to the next. So what really caused all of this? 2 words. Zombie bees. My husband read this one and went, let's not give sci-fi any more ideas for their B movies, for their B-rated movies. I had to agree with that, because this one's kind of like the murder is legal as long as the weapon is a pineapple prompt. Like, it's so ridiculous that you just want to go, how do you even, like, what do you even do with this prompt, kind of thing. The good thing is to talk it, right? Yes. It's always better to talk when you've got the support to do so. Don't feel like you can't talk. But like I said, this one's just kind of one of those, I don't even know what I would do with this. Honestly. Knickknacks. Live in a cold climate, right? Just go live in Antarctica. No bees there. But, like, I guess this one also kind of, like, makes you think of what's going on with the bee population in the real world, of where you were killing off so many that it's kind of killing the ecosystem. And, it could be, I don't know, maybe those dead bees are coming back for vengeance or whatever. Bees can carry diseases, baromites. Zombie bees have been spreading a deadly disease, causing the collapse of all bees. We now have a lot fewer pollinators. Right? Like, that's totally like kind of what I was just talking about, of, you know, what we've been doing and stuff. The happening. I have seen that, yes! Yes, sis, I have. Oh my god. I know exactly where you're going with this, too. Go ahead. The Happening is a great movie, Nick. You really want to watch it. Because this kind of goes along that lines, those lines where everyone thinks it's like aliens or paranormal or whatever that is killing people, but it's actually nature that is killing everyone. Because like all these things start happening where people are basically like, killing themselves and whatnot. And so people think like they're being possessed or like aliens are controlling them and whatnot. But it turns out that it is nature, literally nature is killing people because we're destroying the planet. So it's really kind of interesting. I've also played The Last of Us. Right, The Last of Us. Yeah. It's kind of like The Last of Us too. Death by Trees. Yep. Yep, that's the last. That's Algar probably likes that movie. No, like It's more interesting than I'm making it sound, I promise. But it's a good movie. Earth reclaims itself, yes. So yeah, I would recommend it. Next we're talking about the movie The Happening. I win, call my dragon. Call your own dragon. You've summoned an Spear Dragon, Harambe. For those of you that aren't getting the Harambe stuff, it's more often than not that somebody mentions Harambe in my chat, because they know it'll make me laugh. So there's a couple of different versions of Harambe chat commands. I have lots of commands. Exclamation point commands will give you a link to a list of all the commands I have in my chat. Sis helped create like half of them, and Skull too. Next prompt is... It was less than a second, maybe half a second, but it changed everything. These commands are so good, right? My commands are awesome. I love them. Batman! Too bad Shadow's not here to actually, like, see the Batman command. I don't think he's actually seen it yet. I know he was gonna stream at some point today. I don't know when he's gonna do it now. It was supposed to be an hour or two ago, but, he said he might have to push it back, so. Broken condom! Skull! Right? Like, oh my god, you guys. Not even remotely where I thought this was gonna go, but I should have known better with Skull in stream. Oh, Skull. I love your ideas sometimes. Awesome. Yeah, that could be interesting. Missed this kind of random, right? Next! Come on, who hasn't been there, right? Nick, he's saying the whole less than a second or whatever was the broken condom. And therefore, you know, unintended pregnancy, ta-da, everything changed. So, yeah. Skull, you spelled cum wrong. This is calling you out, Skull. Now I can't even think of anything else, because that kind of story, I don't even know where to start. That could be an interesting one, I guess. I don't know how that wasn't obvious. It's all good, Nick. Don't worry about it. But yeah, this prompt, I guess you could go with that. I don't know, now my brain's kind of stuck on that, and I can't think of anywhere else you could go with it. And I guess, like, I guess another option would be, nope, I totally lost it. Where this is going, right? Yeah. Alright, so, since I can't think of anything else, we'll go with that. What kind of story would you write based on that, Skull? Let's hear what you got. Let's see what Skull's got for this. Oh, I missed a host. Sassy Sass, if you're still here, thank you for the host. Skull, you broke this prompt, right? Skull, you totally just like... Right? Like, seriously, I read through all these prompts before the stream, both yesterday or Friday and today. I've read through them before, and, like, things came to mind, but that was totally not one of them. Like, my mind didn't even remotely go to unintended pregnancy. Maybe it's a missed interaction or encounter in a crowd. Right? That could be Sis. There you go. Sis is trying to get us back on track. I feel like it's a story that tells itself. Yeah, I guess. Just make my mind be broken. Alright, we're gonna move on from this one because I can't even. You run into the gym and mysteriously find yourself in a forest. You learn you have been granted one superpower. Describe your journey home. You see someone in a crowd, think too much about approaching, but they board a bus and are gone in a second. Okay, yeah, I like where Sis is going with that too. Of that it's, you know, a missed encounter and like maybe you try to find that person or something kind of thing. Or you keep just missing that person kind of thing. As for the superpower one, so many people took the easy way out on this of, ta-da, you can teleport, you teleport back home, end of story. Kind of thing. Like, I would like to think that wouldn't be the power you're giving kind of thing. You walk into a gym in a forest and got superpowers. Now you gotta get home. Yeah! Yep, you know, walk into your gym and, you know, like you walk through the door, but it's not the gym. You're suddenly in a forest. And you learn you've been granted a superpower. Describe how you get home. And, you know, dealing with your new power and stuff. Like I said, I would prefer not to go the route of you got your superpower is teleportation and then you just pop home kind of thing. Like I said, to me that's taking the easy way out. Like, what kind of gym is that? Teleportation. Yeah. I would prefer not to go the teleportation route because that would be the automatic assumption is that everyone makes is that you got teleportation. But what if it was just a normal gym, but like that day something happened and you got transported somewhere, but it wasn't your power that did it, kind of thing. Switching dimensions, yeah. Yeah, basically you're in either another location or another dimension, whatever. Like I said, I don't want to go the teleportation route on this one. I think it should be some other power and that you actually do have a journey home so that you're not taking the easy way out of just popping back home kind of thing. I mean, even if you did go the teleportation route, you could make it so that they aren't able to accurately teleport at first, and so you're like popping everywhere trying to get home, but it's not home kind of thing. Doors open into different dimensions, right? Yeah. Healing, like, yeah, I would like to. For this one, I would think it would be much more interesting to explore other superpowers and how you would get home then. I'd body hop across the globe, then inhabit a destitute bum and make his life awesome, then go possess someone else. Alright, I'll give you that one, Skull. That could be an interesting one. You have to find the door that leads back to your homeworld. I like that. I like that idea, Nick. That's good. What the heck kind of gym is that? Healing is always an interesting one for me, because I was a nurse. So all of that kind of thing is always something I like to explore. Is like the healing abilities. You have to find the door that leads back to your home. I read that already. Okay, making sure I didn't miss anything in chat. I thought there was a new message, but there wasn't. Like I said, I like the healing aspects of powers. And to me, there should be more than just the physical healing that everyone always, you know, assumes. Because you could also maybe do emotional healing or, you know, mental healing kind of thing. Because to me, that's just as important as physically healing, you know, physical wounds. So yeah, you could do that too. Choose power. I would like to have the Avatar's power, the cartoon show. Right? Control all 4 elements. Mental and emotional healing. Yes. I like that. The power to calm, right? There's a lot a lot of other aspects to the healing power that you could explore than just the physical healing. I love Avatar though, Nex. That would be awesome. So that, yeah, that would be interesting. I am Water Tribe, for those who know what Avatar The Last Airbender is. I'm Water Tribe. If you could have any power, what would it be? If I could have one, I actually was asked that in an interview recently. So my answer was to be able to know when someone is thinking about you and kind of the mood in which they're thinking about you. So not necessarily their actual thoughts, but just, you know, this person is thinking about you, and here's like, are they happy? Are they sad? Kind of thing. Do they miss you? That kind of thing. Like not actual words or thoughts or anything, but just kind of like an emotion. That's the kind of thing I would like. Because I always wonder if somebody's thinking about me when I'm like not around them. And so I kind of like that idea for a power. But also like the healing power, like I mentioned that, and that Sis is talking about, is like mental and emotional healing kind of thing. Sis, there's a really good book that explores that, the concept being what happens if you found your door and your home and then you lost it. Ooh! It's every heart a doorway. Oh, I'm gonna write that down, Sis, because that actually sounds really good. Every heart. Book. Awesome. I would want teleportation or telekinesis. Yeah, I think a lot of people would want that. I've seen a lot of the posts on Facebook of this color pill does such and such superpower, and here's the limitation to it. And there's usually like 6 or 8 different ones, and like you're supposed to choose one or two kind of thing. And I usually choose like the mind reading type thing. Because I've always been fascinated by psychology and the mind and how the mind works and everything. So for me, that kind of power is more of what I would want, but I wouldn't want it absolute. Like I wouldn't want. I'm gonna make a Twilight reference, and you can all hate me if you want. I don't care. I wouldn't want it to be like Edward Cullen. I wouldn't want to have it constantly bombard me. I would want to be able to shut it off and have that peace kind of thing. Or the power to fix the economy, right? I think we all want that power, Nick. Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of different ways you could explore this, and you could even make it that you're not the only one, that maybe there's more people that have had this happen to, and you're kind of your own little group trying to figure out how to deal with these new powers and stuff, and like what to do with them and whatnot. So I think this could be a really fun one to explore too, as a concept for something. You are granted a trip on a time machine to a historical event. Describe the event and your journey. I jokingly said, isn't this how the movie Time Machine happened? Didn't we learn anything from that one where you shouldn't do it? Kind of thing. Because time travel is also a very tricky thing of where, if you're going to a historical event, just by being there, you are changing the event and history. So my cat is coughing. Porky, are you okay? Porky. think he has a cold. My kitty. My poor kitty. Messing with time is never a good idea, right? Okay, bye, Sky. Have a good night. Oh, I'd probably destroy the time machine, right? Yeah, messing with time is never a good thing. There's so many stories that have been written about, screwing it up kind of thing. I would go back in time to the beginning of time and get eaten by a dinosaur, Nick. It alters more than our human minds can comprehend, right? Sis, I think I will wander off for a bit and slow cook chicken on. Check back in. Okay, sis. See you later. Hi, Bree! It's a ripple effect, right? So yeah, I think this would be kind of an overdone writing prompt, if you ask me. Because so many people have done it. And like, we all know the consequences of time travel, basically. Honestly, I think the only one I would do is go back in time and keep Trump from running for president this year. That's probably the only thing I would do. I would find some way to prevent that. Speaking of the character, Iroh from Avatar has the ideology from Basic Principles of Buddhism. Yes! Iroh is my favorite. I love Iroh. Iroh is the best. I assume we're talking about Iroh from the original and not General Iroh from Korra. I'd kill both of them. Yes, Nick. I don't know if I would kill Hillary or not. But if I had a time machine, I would find some way to prevent Trump from doing it. I would check the person who invented the necktie. Skull. The irony of that statement. Well, I guess it doesn't even say that it's a past event. What if it is a future historical event? That could be a thing, too. Rose, you can't kill me. I wouldn't kill you. I didn't say I would kill you. I said Trump. No, Hillary. No, I said I wouldn't kill Hillary. No. Hillary Clinton, and I certainly would not kill you, sis. Why would I kill you? I can't kill my wifey, come on. My poor kitty. He's just sleeping. Yes, I'm talking about you. Go back to sleep. But yeah, you could explore the idea that you're going to a future event. So Phil didn't want her. Why should we? Oh, Nick. Nick. I don't even know where to start with that one. But yeah, I think if you were going to do this one, I would say a future event of some kind. Because the future's not set in stone. It's harder to screw something up that way, I think. Maybe. So yeah, I think a future historical event might be better. What, dude?
I'm hungry.
It's not snack time yet. You got 20 minutes until snack time.
20, okay. What time is it anyway?
2:40.
2:40, okay.
I actually give zero fucks about politics. Right? I don't really get into debates or anything. I know who I'm voting for, and whoever anyone else is voting for is none of my business. My parents and I are actually completely different political parties, but, Hi, children. Yes, that was my son asking if he could have something to eat because he's hungry. But it's not snack time yet, so he has to wait a little bit. Next prompt. Yesterday, this kind of goes with the one before. Yesterday, humanity discovered how to send items back in time. Today, you receive a package from yourself. Alternate. Today you start work on a project that will let you send items back in time. You then receive a letter from yourself simply saying, stop. Hide your kids, hide your wives. Nick is here. I'm hungry too, little one. Right, Bree? He's always hungry, though, I swear. Growing boys. Seriously, he's always hungry. We actually have to put a gate up across the stairs at night because he likes to come up and steal food in the middle of the night because he's hungry. Yeah. I might eat them. Oh, Nick. So like this one could be really interesting because you know, with the first part of the prompt, don't go to the corner. Nax sending people to his corner. With the first part of the prompt, you could explore like what's in the package, why did you send it back to yourself, or what's the point, kind of thing. And then with the alternate prompt of telling yourself to stop, why would you stop? What explanation could you have? Lynn, thank you for the host. So either of these could be really interesting to explore of kind of the ramifications of it. Okay, it's getting weird. You're cool, Nick. It's all good. I guess one thing I would prefer to explore is maybe the second one, the alternate, where you're trying to stop yourself. Or maybe the letter says more than just stop. It explains why you should stop. And then, like, do you believe yourself? Like, you altered time to the point where you're ruining the world, right? Like, maybe that's why you're trying to tell yourself to stop. Because now you're all sending all these things back, or, letters back. Everyone's sending letters back to their previous selves, and like it's changing who they were or who they become and all of this, and you're creating a Pandora's box. Or not Pandora's box, a paradox. I can talk. Oh my god. And read, because I was totally reading Nax's comment at the same time. So, it's changing a lot. Future me is an asshole, right? So like, it would be interesting to explore how those changes are affecting the world. All of that. Sent iPhone back in 50s, broke the world, right? Like, so many people would send things, further back in time and maybe alter the world. Like, maybe we become more technologically advanced and all of this a lot sooner, or potentially a lot later. So there could be that, those consequences as well. Present me isn't all that nice either. I agree with Skull. That is a lie, sis. You are such a sweetheart, and we love you. We love you lots. Yeah, next, you got an impersonator, right? Yeah, we had somebody that came into chat on Friday night that was Naxbeer, but it was 2 R's, and like we got all excited, and then I was like, wait, there's 2 R's. Doesn't the real Nax only have 1 R? And they were pink instead of purple. So we were kind of like, wait a minute. Yeah, and then they poofed when we called them out on it. It was interesting. That's one of those cool story about to tell again kind of things, right? So like I said, this one could get kind of interesting in that aspect, that there's a lot to explore with it. It was weird. Yeah, it was weird, right? It was crazy. Next prompt is recreate a new ending for the last book you read. There are 2 Sisses now, too. Yeah, Sissy Wu and Big Sister. But at least there aren't, like, exact same names, kind of thing, with that. This one is kind of like a new trend, actually, with books that have been coming out, is that you actually rewrite a classic tale. Just got off work. Hey, Swaggy, what's up? Glad you could join us. We're just going through more of the prompts. I love your name for some reason, Swaggy. Right? His name is just so cool. It's like I was saying, that this one is a lot like a lot of books that have been coming out of rewriting old books. Old classics. Like there was a new version of Alice in Wonderland. What else did I see recently? If you're familiar with the Wicked books, that explore the Wicked Witch of the West, and all of that stuff from her point of view rather than from Dorothy's point of view. And then I think there's a Snow White one as well. And then there's Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. Malice in Wonderland, that's what it was. I'm out on this one. I've never read a book. Oh, Nick, we have to get you reading, dude. There's some great ones out there. I don't know that I have any remakes myself. Trying to look at my bookshelf without actually moving too far because my chair squeaks. Yeah, I don't think I have any remakes myself, though I do want to read them. Yeah, no, I don't think I do. It's just... Oh, no, you're actually... Okay, David, because I started earlier than I told you to. So you're good. Currently trying to make a female arrow. Nice! We're mandatory for high school. I'm scrubbed. Hey, that's cool. You still read something. Be right back, Char. Okay, sis. Yeah, no, David, I kind of forgot to tell you that I was going to start earlier. I should have left you a message, but yeah. I wasn't originally going to start until 4 p.m. Eastern today, because I didn't want to overlap with Shadow's stream too much, and I had commands that I needed to make for the stream. But yeah. So I got all that done earlier, and Shadow decided to move his stream, so I started my stream early. It's Reaper now, too, so I changed my keyword now. Right? That's awesome. But yeah, like a lot of the classics, you could rewrite, and on Twitter, a lot of the literary agents I follow use a hashtag MSWL. So yeah, MSWL. It stands for Manuscript Wish List. And so they will tweet with that hashtag and put out what they're looking for their current lists of people they want to represent or books they want to represent. Frankenstein's monster gets laid. Like, there's a good one. That'd be interesting. Holden gets stabbed and left bleeding in an alley. Nice. And there have been a few that have asked for a retelling of, such and such story kind of thing, that they'll put in there what they would like to see a retelling of. And, like, isn't that Bride of Frankenstein's Club? But every time I watched that, I imagined Arnold saying it with his accent. That's true, Nax. But so, there's a lot of things you could do with this. You could rewrite a story and maybe change certain details, or maybe explore an unknown backstory for the characters. One was one of the MSWLs was that the reason Snow White is hunted is because she's a vampire, and that that's why she is always so white. That's why she could sleep for so long without aging. That's how she got the dwarves to do her bidding, basically. That's why the queen wanted her heart, was to make sure she was actually dead, and that Snow White's vampiric allure is why the huntsman couldn't kill her, why he fell for her instead, and all of this. So that's one example of a retelling that you could do. Frankenstein got laid. His monster never did, right? I think a lot of people forget that Frankenstein is the doctor. The monster never had a name. It was always just the monster, or Frankenstein's monster. Abe Lincoln, Vampire Hunter. Yeah. Harry Potter kills everybody and becomes the most powerful wizard ever. Right? There you go. That would totally be one, Nick. So, like, this one, there's a lot of things you could do. Because you wouldn't necessarily need to stay true to the entire original story. And it's kind of like, for anybody that watches Once Upon a Time, it's kind of like that where you've got all of these Disney tales coming together, but there's also an interwoven tale of the actual show, that everything, ties together, and there's little differences in the stories from the original and stuff. So I think Once Upon a Time is also a great show that explores how you can rewrite some things or continue a story that was finished, kind of thing. So that's a good prompt. The monster did have a name. It was Adam, did it? The monster's name is Bort. Next with the inside jokes. Bort. Alright, next prompt. You have the ability to freeze time. When you do, everyone freezes as well. One day you freeze time, and out the window you see a girl or boy moving around. Originally this said just a girl, but I really think you could just do either. I don't think the gender is important. You see somebody moving around. So this could be interesting to explore of, why they're moving around, and whatnot. Because, that's really the only place you can go with this story. This prompt is why is this person able to move around when everyone else gets frozen? So it could be interesting. I think the comments said something about there's a movie or a book. I think it's a book that is based on this premise. I wasn't familiar with it, and I don't remember the name of it, so I don't know. Stopping time, I like it. They have the same power. Maybe they have powers that null your powers, right? Like, I like both of those ideas. Both Nick and David had great ideas where maybe they have the same power as yours, so it doesn't affect them, because, obviously it doesn't affect you either when you use your power. And then what David says of maybe they have powers that null yours, that cancel out yours. So that could be an interesting one too, of just exploring why they're able to do this. And both those ideas have separate ways you could go with it, because if they have your same power, then do you befriend them and have, kind of share notes and see what you guys can do together, kind of thing? And if they cancel out your powers, then, like, are they an enemy? Or could they still also be a friend, kind of thing, and just kind of go from there on what the interaction would be between the two of you. Next one. Write the story of a child's birthday party from the viewpoint of a piñata. Go Highlander on them. There can be only one, right? That could be two. This prompt, like, could be an interesting one because, like, what would a piñata have to say about the party? Like, what would they do? That kind of thing. Maybe your powers only stops time in a certain radius and she was outside of that, right? Panna, what's up? How's it going, man? We're just talking about some writing prompts right now. I think we've got about 6 or 8 of them left after this one. And then we'll kind of see where we want to go from there, whether we want to do anything else or talk about anything else or what. So, yeah, this is where we're at right now. Like I said, this one could be interesting because, like, oh no, this shit again, right? Right, David? Because then you're like, like, how sentient is the piñata, I guess? Okay, Panna. What, dude?
I'm hungry.
Go ahead.
Is this snack time?
Close enough. Right? Like, that was a lot of the comments, Nick, were things like that of, like, you hit them and, like, they're, ow, stop it, quit, kind of thing. So, like, is it one of those where, like, are people aware that the piñata is sentient? Are they not aware, kind of thing? Can it talk to people? Can it not? There's some different and kind of goofy things that you could do with this. I almost think this would almost be better as a children's book, and kind of keep it like a happier tone than the crazy, oh God, they're killing me kind of thing. Yes, Skull, my children are cute. Like I said, you guys will often hear them on stream, because my husband's usually at work while I'm streaming, so they pop in. Living piñatas, yes. Hello, dearie, how are you? I haven't seen you in a while either. So yeah, this one could be interesting. Like, Viva Piñata, right? So I don't know, because you could also almost do it from some other point of view of some other object in the kids' party, but I think the piñata is an interesting one too, because they're usually, shaped like something, either a horse or, a, famous character or something. So I think this could get to be an interesting one as well. This one is a crazy one, and I don't even know what to make of this. This is the actual picture that was with the prompt. I don't even know what to make of this prompt. Your doorbell rings. You answer the door and see this on your porch. That's supposed to say you yell into the house, "We got another one. Tell the rest of the story." And so if you can't really see, I think you should be able to see the picture. It says free range whole human. This would, like I said, I don't even know, like, what do you do with this? Like, because presumably you're not another human. Presumably you're some kind of creature. And there's my other kitty. Tesla. Goober. So like this one could just, I don't even know. I would like to think that you're not another human being who is eating a human being. Let's not go cannibal. I mean, you could, I guess, explore the cannibal route. But I I would like to think that you would actually be like, I don't know, some sort of creature or something that would feed on them rather than that alternate universe where cows are the dominant race and not humans, right, David? Like, that would be, it's just a prank, bro, right? Well, I don't know about that though, Nick, because it says that this implies that it's not, the first time it's happened. So, I mean, would it still be a prank if it's happened more than once? Kind of thing. So that could be interesting too, to explore. Chickens that look like a chicken if you look at it fast enough. I don't know, like, that could be. Because yeah, when I first saw this prompt, I didn't actually look at the picture very closely. And so I read it and I was like, wait, why is this like a thing? And then I actually looked at the picture and I was like, oh my god, that's a person in shrink wrap, like a whole chicken kind of thing. So and apparently I don't know how well you guys can see it, but apparently this is British. A whole human costs 18,350 pounds. Yeah. And weighs 71.2 kilograms. So there's that. So apparently the British are eating people. No offense to any Brits. I'll have friends that are Brits. They're cool. But yeah, this one kind of has me stumped because I don't know where I would start. Because I mean, you could go, like I said, you could go the cannibal route, and then you get kind of into there's a video game I watched somebody play the other day. And now I don't remember what it was, but it was basically like their plane crashed and there were cannibals on the island that they crashed on, and they had to try to survive, kind of thing.
Mommy,
What, dude?
can I play outside?
Not today, dude. It's rainy out.
Really?
Well, it was cloudy earlier. I think it's supposed to rain.
Can I check?
No, I said no. Hey, close my door, please.
That was in here. Important.
Yeah, I know. Tiny humans. Oh, hey, how about that? It's tiny humans. Like, they're fully grown, but they're little. They're little. There's an idea. Yeah, I don't know about this one. We'll move on from it. I moved quickly. You should duct tape them to the wall. David, stop that. David suggests that all the time. No, they're behaving today. I'm not going to duct tape them to the wall. I moved quickly to dispose of the evidence. No one saw anything. At least now my job got a little easier. 1 down, 2 more to go. And I saw this one as kind of a reference to the very first one we talked about on Friday. I keep wanting to say yesterday. Usually stream on Saturdays, that's why. On Friday, the very first one was that you are a police officer in your city's police force and a body was left on your station's steps and it looks just like you. So add that to this one and maybe you've got twins or sibling, identical siblings kind of thing. So I taped my friend to a wall when I was 13. I got in a lot of trouble. It ripped the paint off of his wall. Nick, somehow I am not surprised by this. But even without the context of the other prompt, I think this one could be really interesting. 2 whole rolls of duct tape? Holy crap, Nick. That's a lot of duct tape. Are you sure you used enough? So, like I said, this one could be a lot of different things. And each would have its own different road you could take when writing this. I think automatically it would be, people would jump to, murder. But you could also almost think that, well, maybe they're saving people from it, kind of thing, from something. Possibly it was an accidental murder or some other crime. Right. I don't know. Maybe the first, but the last line kind of suggests, one down, two more to go, kind of suggests that maybe it wasn't accidental. Another prompt that we talked about yesterday was, some years ago you sold your soul to the devil. Today he gives it back and says, I need a favor. And maybe putting that with this one, whatever they're doing is whatever favor the devil needed. So that could be an option too. Because a lot of these can definitely be combined to make an even more interesting one. Liam Neeson. Right? That could be either Taken or, what was the other one? There was one where he's like a spy who gets amnesia or something. And I can't remember what the name of it is, but that was a really good one too. That could totally kind of be like this. Or Taken 2, yeah. Really any, yeah, right. Well, yeah, I meant Taken as in the whole franchise, not just the first one, but yes. But definitely, it kind of is like that. A Walk Among the Tombstones? I've not seen that one, so I don't know. I don't even know what that's about. No, the one I'm thinking of is a more recent one. Yeah. He's a horrible father, right? Horrible father and a horrible ex-husband. So yeah, like you could go a couple of different routes with this one, but almost indefinitely it's going to involve a crime of some kind. I can't really think of a situation where it wouldn't involve crime, either preventing it or perpetrating it. So yeah, I think this one definitely would end up being criminal in some nature. But like I said, it's got a lot of good ones that you can explore with it. There's a wedding cake by the side of the road. And this one's kind of more of a silly prompt. Because you go, well, why the heck is there a wedding cake by the side of the road? Kind of thing. So that's kind of where you would start, Did it fall off a truck that was on the way to this wedding? And what happened because of it? Free cake, David says yes. Or did the bride and groom have a fight and throw it out, kind of thing? And so, is the marriage over before it even began, kind of thing? He works in a chicken nugget factory and he eats 3 nuggets a day and he ate one in Nobisa. Nick is referring to this last prompt of the whole 1 down, 2 more to go. Totally, Nick. Polo, what's up? Glad you made it, man. This prompt is pure poetry, right? Right? It is totally pure poetry. Fuck this kid out, take the cake with you, right? Like, how bad does it have to be that you kick out not only the, bride or groom or whatever, but you also kick out the wedding cake with them. So that could be a really interesting one to explore. Oh, milady, look at Polo being a gentleman over here. By the way, you guys should totally give Polo a shot. Nick, will you give Polo a shout out, please? But yeah, this one, like I said, is kind of more of a goofy one for prompts. Don't listen to... Yes, listen to me. Polo is awesome. We had a great time in his stream. There you go. Follow that link. It's a lie. They like the cake, right? The cake is a lie. Hey, who knows? Maybe the cake is a lie. Maybe it's not really a cake at all. Maybe it's a pie. How about that? I like pie. Pie is good. Alright, so the next one, it's a trap. Yeah, the cake is totally a trap. It's a waffle. Where's Waffles when we need her? It would totally be a waffle cake. Just like lots of waffles piled up. After the first bust for using 3D flesh printers, it was clear. This was a threat and not one to be taken lightly. Waffle! Right? Waffle! So this one kind of implies that, is she lurking? I didn't even see, I just looked at the viewer list and I didn't even see it. Oh, yep, there she is. Now she's here. It's Waffles! Sup, Waffles! Just in time for us to talk about Waffles. Waffles is here for Waffles. So, like, this one kind of implies that 3D printers aren't being used just for, like, medical use now. Right? Exactly, David. That's just where I was going to go with that. That maybe people are using it for black market or you know, cloning, or, you know, I just lost my train of thought. Crap. Cyborgs, that's where I was going, yeah. Where they look and talk and feel like this, but oh my god, Nick, that is just like what you added to your Amazon list the other day. The question that needs to be answered, right? Nick is on top of the important questions and suggestions today. So like I said, I think this implies that it's being used for you know, not medical purposes or for more nefarious purposes maybe. And that kind of gets into exploring like what they're being used for and whatnot. Because we already, in this day and age, we are actually able to print flesh or organs. They've been working on it. So I mean, this one is kind of one of those. It's not an impossibility for reality even. So this could actually kind of be exploring the darker side of doing such a thing. It 3D prints flesh, but what about bone? Right? Could you 3D print a bone? And you know, what would be the point of it? What would be the purpose for doing it, kind of thing. So I think first you would want to explore why you would want to 3D print flesh or bone or whatever first, and then why this would be a threat, and why it wouldn't be taken lightly, kind of thing. I've actually not watched Repo the Genetic Opera, but I know the premise, and so yes, it would kind of fit that. So yeah, I could see that. So yeah, like I said, this one gives you a lot of options to do it. Watch it. I'll get around to it. There's so many things that I need to like watch that I don't even know where to start. Okay. So this one, a soccer mom or dad performs a demon summoning, but something has gone terribly wrong. And so you could explore the ways that it went wrong. Are they possessed now? There was one that I thought of that maybe instead of being possessed, like the demon possessing them, they are now in the demon's body. So like there could be that too. Kind of a little different take on it than what the usual would be of them getting possessed. What's with parents getting in contact with the devil? Right? Like honestly, I think this could be anybody. Like I don't think it would have to be a parent. Especially newborn parents, right? Hey, Waffles, have you watched Supernatural? How about that? It could be they were making a deal with a demon to help their kids win in soccer, right? Like maybe that's it, yeah. But like I said, I think the soccer mom / dad, I think it's just supposed to indicate a parent of some kind. You should watch Supernatural, Waffles. It's on Netflix. It is awesome. They have all 11 seasons right now. And I'm like halfway through. But yeah, definitely watch it. But so like, I think this could be anybody and not just necessarily a parent. I think the parent part just kind of gives it a different aspect because then you have the family dynamic to deal with whatever has gone wrong. I personally like the idea that rather than the demon possessing them, they have possessed the demon kind of thing. Like maybe that's where it went wrong kind of thing. And then, trying to make people understand that you're not a demon, that you're trapped inside and need help kind of thing. I only watched the first season of Supernatural. Couldn't get into it. The acting was pretty mediocre. It gets better. Yeah, the first season is kind of rough, but it does get better. I will say Sam and Dean do continue to bicker throughout the entire series like a freaking married couple, but even though they're brothers. Yeah, they're always fighting about something. But I mean, siblings. That's what they do. So I still would recommend it. And try to get past that first season. It does get better, and the storyline gets more interesting the further in you get to it. So maybe try to give it another shot, Nick. But yeah, like this one, like I said, I think I would prefer the demon being possessed rather than the demon doing the possessing. I like to flip the tropes on their heads, or the stereotypes or whatever. I like to flip things. As some of you were around for the last manuscript reading I did, not this last weekend, but the weekend before, of where Rose finds out she's a mother, but like not in the way you would think. Like usually it's the guy finding out that there was a baby he didn't know about, but it's reverse. She finds out that she's a mother to a child she didn't know about. And it's all sorts of complicated and interesting. And I thought that was kind of a nice little twist on the usual. They summon a demonic soccer ball, right? Welcome back, Panda. How was the bath? David, that is your own fault for not reading it. You have it. You've had it for months. Go read it, damn it. Don't shush me on my own channel. So, nah. Yes, I'm childish and just stuck out my tongue. Deal with it. David knows I'm just giving him crap too. Good enough. I washed the filth off my body, right? That's what counts. All right. So, next one. What is a soul? Because there's up with holy water. Hey, you do what you gotta do, Panda. So this one I think was originally a comment towards the artificial reality, or artificial intelligence becomes a reality, but every computer has a deceased soul in it, a deceased person's soul in it. To protect myself from things. Oh, Panda. I don't know where Sis is. I don't know how she would like that. It's the bottom of a shoe. Wrong kind of soul. David, that's S-O-L-E. Come on. Nice try. Get better with the puns. But like I said, I think this gets into the debate of what is a soul, kind of thing. She was around. I think she's eating, so she's here somewhere. I'm being a smartass. Yes, David is being a smartass. I know. So with the whole artificial intelligence, but every computer has a deceased person's soul in it. We got into the whole thing of what defines human, what defines murder, and all that kind of thing. Hey, Nissan. Finally done with project work for today. Yay! That's always good, dearie. Whoa, Waffles, at least she doesn't try to shadow Panna next. Real bear. Oh, Panna! That bird! And there she is! So I think, I don't know, I don't know entirely where this story would go. Maybe you combine it with the whole one from earlier where, angel feathers and human souls are valuable and you have to be careful. So, I mean, maybe it comes in with that. I think this one's more of just like a philosophical question. I don't know how it would work with a prompt. Oh, excuse me, I have hiccups. So this one could be interesting. Welcome back, sis. Alright, I think there's just a couple more. As he turned on the computer to spend another night wasted away online, he heard a noise outside. In this one, I think you could switch the gender, but I think it's better as a male main character, as well as something I do not have, right? I could believe that, Nissan. Just kidding. Love you. But yeah, this one could get interesting. It's a clown outside with a knife. Oh, don't even get me started on those stupid clowns that are around. What was the sound? Right? Like, that's where you get into, okay, what's the sound that he heard? Where's it at? Like, from where outside? Like, how close is it to whatever part of the house he's in? And does he have reason to be concerned? Is it the first time this has happened? Is it a common occurrence? Kind of thing. So I think you could go really interesting routes on this one. A soul is immortal. The knowledge passed on it from every experience the soul had on this planet fuels it to maintain this form and keep doing this endless cycle of pointless life and self-searching. Damn, Panna! Panna just got deep. I like that, though. That's cool. They're just clowning around. Oh my god, Nissan, the puns! Sounds like my life. I would rather sit here and rest my eyes on a computer screen than socialize. I need help. Whatever, you're socializing. You're still socializing, it's just online. It's all good. Sis is back, sorta. I'll be lurky. But I have tequila. Oh my god. You know, sis, now I can't see tequila without thinking of that stupid rap that guy did for you. Like, that's all that pops to mind now is yep, tequila. Nick knew where that was going. Oh my god. That rap was so terrible. Skull, have you tried room temperature tequila with no lime, no nothing? Can I post it? Yes, go ahead, sis. Go ahead. Do it, do it, do it. The horror. Spread the horror. It's seriously like this terrible rap. Oh my god, I can't even. Like, talk about a train wreck, but like as a rap. Yes, sis, do it. Do it, do it, do it. And I'm not going to play it on stream because, oh my god, it's so bad and I don't want to get stuck in my head again. So feel free to click on that link if you want to hear the worst rap ever written by somebody that doesn't even know sis, but thought it was a good idea to make a rap about her. And so bad. It's the cis cringe rap. Yes, it is so cringeworthy. It's ridiculous. So any rap music ever. There's some good rappers, okay, but this guy is so not one of them. So not. Thank you for the host, dearie. All right, we'll move on to the next prompt, which is the final prompt. Finally, what he told me earlier, think now, breathe later, made sense as my face submerged. So obviously they're in water. Somebody told them, what to do. Really, David? Eminem. That's about the only rapper that I like is Eminem. Be right back, gonna watch it. I'm sorry, Vanna. That's all I'm gonna say is I'm sorry. So, but like, what led them to being submerged? What led them to be in this situation? Who is the person that gave them this advice, or warning even, and stuff. So like, the Poseidon Adventure, that could be. That was a decent movie. I liked that movie. Both the original and the remake. I've seen both. I think I prefer the original though. As odd as that might sound. So, I mean, there's a couple of different things you could do with it. The Poseidon Adventure could be one of them. For those of you that don't know, it's based on... Poseidon Adventure is a cruise ship that capsizes, and they basically have to, like, survive through the flooding levels kind of thing. I'm dying inside. This is too much cringe. Why you do this? You're welcome, Nissen and Panna. It is so hard to watch that video. It's so bad. But at the same time, like, it's so bad. It's hilarious. Yeah. Go for it, Panna. But yeah, so this one could be kind of interesting of, what led to this point in the story that this happens. Yes, that's what capsized means. David, that's what capsized means. Can we please make that go viral? Isn't it already viral? Viral in the sense that it's so terrible and, like, hurts. Nick, you're the man. Why? Yeah. But I think other than the Poseidon Adventure type thing that you could go for with it, I think there's other things you could go for, like maybe some kind of training program. Antibiotics don't work on viruses. Bad, David. Why did I click the link, right, dearie? It's so bad. I warned you all it was bad. I said click on it at your own risk. But is this some kind of training thing? Is there is there a reason behind it, or did it just happen like that kind of thing? You know, what is the cause of this particular scene that they're setting up? I think I derailed my own chat with allowing that link. One of the best derailments ever, though. Most awkward person ever. Right? That guy is so freaking awkward. Because then he's like, oh, I still have like 2 minutes to go. And he literally just repeats the same stuff the entire time. Sorry, not sorry. But if you get to know people better, I get disturbingly comfortable with them. This is true. I think that's true to everybody, though. Like, when you really get comfortable with somebody, like, you'll do anything. You'll just, like, do whatever. My cat is snoring. I don't know where she is, though. She's probably under the bed. I was talking about me. I know you were. I was agreeing with you. Alright, so I think that's the last slide. Yep, this is the last one. So, you know, no more prompts. This is the end of that part. I'm going to... I'm going to say we take a break for, like 2 minutes, and then we can either read some more of the story, or if you guys have questions about writing and stuff, we can talk about those too. I'll let you guys kind of decide that in chat, and I will be back in like 2 minutes. I'm gonna throw some music on for you guys. 1 second while I pull it up. Just sent this to a friend from stream. He replied with "why?" and then deleted. Oh, Nissan! Oh my gosh. Alright, so I am going to go ahead and put some Jonathan Young music on for you guys, and I will be back, like I said, in like 2 minutes.
Oh, misty eye of the mountain below, keep careful watch of my brother's souls, and should the sky be filled with fire and smoke, keep watching over during suns. If this is to end in fire, then we should all burn together. Watch the flames climb high into the night, calling out, Father, Lord, stand by and we will watch the flames burn open on the mountainside. Desolation comes upon the sky, and I see fire inside the mountain. I see fire burn the trail. If we should die tonight, then we should all die together. Raise a glass of wine, ooh, for the last time. Calling out fire, oh, prepare as we will watch the flames burn over the mountainside. Desolation comes upon the sky, and I see fire inside the mountain. I see fire, burn the trees. I see fire, hollow souls. I see fire, burn the breeze. I hope that you remember. I hope that you remember. I hope that you remember. I hope that all shall fade.
Q&A? Okay, we got one vote for Q&A.
Shall fade.
Man, the stream keeps crashing. Oh, Nax, I'm sorry. That sucks. Alright, so Panda says Q&A. Anybody else? Any other votes? I'm looking for a notebook, sorry. A and Q. Answering question? What is this, Jeopardy? Where's the notebook I used earlier? I had a notebook earlier that I was looking for. Nope, this is it. Ah. Alright. Looks like we're gonna go with Q&A today. I'm officially activate lurk mode, just having... That's fine. You go do you, sis. Love you. Let me know if you need anything. Sorry, I'm trying to fix my headset. It doesn't always sit good. Alright, well, so you guys voted for Q&A, so what questions you got? Fire away. I'll answer what I can. I don't mind some personal questions. If you get too personal, though, I will tell you so. Don't make the mistakes of people from earlier today. But yes, feel free to ask questions. And I'm actually going to probably write down these questions because I will potentially record a YouTube video of these questions and my answers to them at some point. How old am I? How old do you think I am, Panna? Everyone gets this wrong. How old do you think I am? Take my glasses off. How old do you think I am? Am I weird? Nissen sometimes. Rose looks 18. School knows my real age, I'm pretty sure. I just had my birthday in August. I am older than 18, I will tell you that. That's playing dirty. Well, here. My daughter is 8.5. So, figure out some math from there. 25. You're close. You're close, Panna. Go older. I am older than 25. Cat violator. 12. No. Definitely not 12. Are you going to guess again, Panda, or should I just tell you? "28. Yes, I am 28. I just turned 28 in August. "52 Slamwich. I've seen you around, Slam, haven't I? I've seen you somewhere. I don't know if necessarily here, but I've seen you somewhere. That name looks familiar. It has a 2-minute delay. No, it doesn't. It has a 15-second delay. It should only have a 15-second delay. I float around like a hobo, right? You want a cookie? Yeah, I think I've seen you in Skull's chat. Well, that's on your end then, Panda. That's not on mine. I'm 20 years old. I'm everywhere and nowhere, right? With the stuff you've read in your stream, has my guy showed up yet? Not yet, but it won't be too much longer. Sorry, I have somebody messaging me on Facebook. David helped me create a character that I needed. Because I hit a point in my story where I needed something, and I went, wait, I don't have this character, and I usually have all of my characters written. Oh, favorite out of Skull, Waffles, and Shadow. Rose is a hologram. My life would probably be a lot simpler if I was a hologram. Let me begin a war. No, that's a hard one. They're all great in their own ways, honestly. I don't know. If I had to pick, I'd probably say Shadow because it was him that introduced me to the other two. I was disappointed when I saw the tip jar. I think more streams could play some more Beaver. That's just a random picture I found. I thought it was funny. I'm not a big Justin Bieber fan. I don't really care for his music, but that's just my personal taste. And plus, that would get my audio muted. So I try to stick to music that doesn't get my audio muted. Yeah. I would have to say Shadow because he introduced me to Waffles and Skull. I found them first, or I found him first, and then that led to Waffles and Skull. So, yeah. Best sense of humor. Nick, Waffles, Polo, or Skull? Oh! That's another tough one. I guess it depends on what type of humor it is. Nick the other day in Waffles' stream had some pretty smooth pickup lines that were also, like, really funny. So, I'm gonna say it's a tie between Nick and Skull. David. I know David Demon in real life. I've known him for a couple of years now. Sorry, my cord is being stupid. I have a really long cord on my headset, and it, like, gets in the way all the time trying to move it. Like, I've known David for a couple of years. He has, like, a Deadpool sense of humor. So there's that. One time Nex said, fuck the, I don't remember, and Skull said I would if I could, right? Favorite color. My favorite colors are blue, green, and purple. Those are 3 favorite colors. Who's the most random person here? Most random person. I would have to say Nick, probably. Nick and Nissen, they can both be pretty random. So I'll say those two. Where's my tacos? They're not tacos, they're chimichangas. Come on, Deadpool, get your own stuff right. What's a hypotenuse? Oh god, don't make me do math. I don't like math. I actually almost failed geometry, so asking me questions about things like that are terrible. I actually honestly don't remember. It's something to do with a triangle. Hypotenuse is I want to say it's the short side. Is this a compliment? Or not, Nick? Oh, is it a compliment that Nick is one of the most random people? And there's Nissen with his Illuminati. I was been waiting for that. Longest side. Hey, at least I knew it had to do with triangles, okay? Give me that much credit. What else you guys got for me? Definitely a compliment. Yes, yes. Nick is random in, like, the best way, though. Oh, one of my tattoo is finally almost healed. I have 3, but this one took a little longer to heal on the surface than the others, so I answered spam. What is this? The triangle of the hypotenuse. How many demon-possessed toddlers do you think you could take in a physical fight? Well, I have 2 children, and they are pretty crazy sometimes, so I would say 2. Maybe. Yeah, that's gonna be my answer. 2. Maybe 3. No weapon. Oh, no weapon. Well, no weapons. I'm still gonna say 3. Because when my nephew's here with my 2 kids, yeah, it's practically like there are demon-possessed children downstairs. So, I'll say 3. For anyone just coming in, we've just finished up talking about some writing prompts, which we had started on Friday, and I left it up to the stream whether they wanted to do a read-through of my manuscript, more of a read-through, or do kind of a Q&A, so they're just kind of doing a Q&A now. I could take 100 because of my martial arts background. Yeah, probably, David. Marry, kill, kiss, go. Are you talking about with you, Nick? Or just in general, like context? Shadow would probably get them drunk and take over the government. Right, Shadow totally would. I would take on 1,000 possessed toddlers versus 1,000 on Twitter. I've seen her use ice cream as a distraction and then donkey punch them. Hey, maybe that would work. Who knows? So yeah, if you're lurking in stream or you've been hanging out kind of thing, feel free to ask questions. I know I've got some regulars that tend to just kind of lurk in chat. I've seen their name in the viewer list several times now. So yeah, hello to those people, and feel free to toss questions, either writing related or not. No, anybody who if there's anybody I would marry. There's some semi-famous people I could think of that I would marry. I'm not going to mention them on stream. Anybody I would kill. Yeah, Donald Trump. And who would I kiss? Again, I can think of a few people, not necessarily famous people, that I would. But again, my secret. Not telling. I know, that's no fun. If you had to, would you leave an open container of egg salad in a hot car or sauerkraut? Oh, I would take the egg salad over the sauerkraut because I hate the smell of sauerkraut anyway. So I would take the egg salad. Okay, I'm dead already. Listen, I'm not killing you. Favorite YouTubers? Oh goodness. I watch a lot of like the scary stories that David actually got me kind of hooked on. So there's Your Maker, You Are Maker, Lazy Masquerade, B.Busta. Who else do I watch? The Darkness Prevails. The Grim Reader. God, there's so many. Lady White Rabbit is really good. I'm totally blanking on her name. Ghoulish Gal. I think those are the ones that I really stick to the most. I think there's a couple others. Corpse Husband, Mr. Spooky, yeah, and Blue_Spooky also. David, go ahead and toss out some other ones that we both watch or that you watch. They're all really great. What do you think of everyone here, or what do you know about them? I know Skull and Nick and Waffles live on the East Coast, and Bree. Demon is Canadian. Panna is Greek, I think. Right? I could be that. I could be wrong on that. What else do I know? Shadow has a daughter, who is absolutely adorable. I've seen her on his stream a few times. Skull, I do not secretly hate you. I adore you. Who could hate that butter voice of yours? Come on. Skull is awesome. I am like always in Skulls. Best YouTuber is Illuminati, who's going to take over the world with their clickbait titles. Would you rather listen to ear rape for 10 hours straight, or listen to Pokemon Go Kid for 10 hours? Oh God. Yeah, I don't even know. Why are my glasses yellow? They are computer glasses. They are non-prescription computer glasses. The yellow tint cuts down on the blue light that electronics produce, which reduces eye strain and which reduces headaches and things like that. Which two people in this chat would fight to the death? Would I make fight to the death if I had to? Yes, Swaggy, they are no scopes. I actually have 2 pairs of no scopes. I have this pair and then a blue pair of Minotaurs. They are going out of business. On the no-scope side, they're focusing more on their Catalyst Mint production instead. So through the end of the year, they are getting rid of their stock of no-scope glasses. You can use the code CLOSEOUT20, I think it is, CLOSEOUT20 or CLOSEOUT10 to get a discount through the end of the year. So I ordered a second pair, which are more comfortable to wear when I'm not wearing my headset. Alright, so if I had to have 2 people in the chat fight, who would I pick? Do I want it to be a fair fight? If it's a fair fight, I would actually say Demon and Shadow, because they are both trained in different ways, but they are both trained. So I think that would be a fair fight. David is martial arts trained, and Shadow is militarily trained. So I think that would be the fairest fight. Sis and Skull. I don't know if Sis and Skull would fight. Maybe a verbal fight on that one. But for physical fights, I would say Shadow and David. Who would win in a fight? Demon and Slam versus Panna, Nax, Nick, Skull, Shadow, and Big Sis. Oh, I'm gonna put my money on the 5 rather than the 2 on that. I also have martial arts training. I did not know that, Skull. Well then, maybe. Maybe. No, I'm still gonna stick with Shadow and David. I'm trained to archery and jujitsu. Nice. I did a little bit of archery in high school, but our school didn't have like a club or anything. I'm trained in button smashing. Aren't most of us? I only know the basics of CQC. I don't even know that. I'm a black belt in Shaq Fu. Sustain your lights. Right? That's why I'm trying to make it an archer. Nice. Very nice. I kind of miss doing archery. I was pretty good at it. So maybe someday I'll get a target and a good bow and stuff. We'll see. Metal Gear. Yeah, see, I'm not familiar with the Metal Gear games enough. So I can't help it. Can't get references like that. Who would win in a fight to the death, Markiplier or PewDiePie? Marky, come on. Markiplier would totally beat PewDiePie. PewDiePie's a wimp. Archery, yes, archery. I'm a swamp-colored belt in strict jutsu. 1v1 me, mate. Oh, Nissan. Skull never disappointing, right? Skull never disappoints. Again, for anybody that's just popping in or lurking, we're just kind of doing a little Q&A. Mostly they're just asking random questions. We finished up all of the writing prompts that we started on Friday and finished today. And I left it up to my chat on whether they wanted to do Q&A or read through or other stuff. So that's what she said. To be fair, it's not the best compliment ever. Yes. That's what she said, jokes. More often than not, I'll say that in chat, and like it kind of throws him off. What's your favorite childhood memory? The first one that comes to mind is a trip we took every summer to this tiny little town called Spencer, Iowa. Really, we stayed in Spencer, Iowa, but the tiny little town is Arnold's Park, and it has a little theme park in it called Arnold's Park. And we would go there every year in the summer because they had a military appreciation day, so we'd get in free. And it was a great little theme park, all sorts of stuff to do, and those were always really great times. It was just me and my sister and my parents. My brother was older, so he was already in college when we started going. But yeah, those would have to be my favorite memories. Well, no, I think my brother did go with us a couple of times before he started college. So that would be my answer. Let's see. I would probably weird people out in a fight before it even starts. Kazami Tempest. So I'm here in hopes of finding some inspiration for my writing, to be honest, though I'm not really much of a prompts person. I'm not really either, Tempest, but I found these prompts. My brother had shared them on Facebook, and I decided it would be kind of a fun little thing to talk about. If you want some more inspiration and more information on kind of writing and some tips and things, feel free to watch my VODs, and a link to my YouTube is down below in my panels down below. I'm working on getting my VODs uploaded to YouTube, and so there's a lot of information there, and please feel free to ask questions. I love asking questions. I love people asking questions. I love answering them. So anything you've got on any topic, please feel free. And I will do my best to answer and explain and everything. The power you'd like to have. Oh, we talked about this before you got here earlier, Swaggy. I would like to have it's kind of like mind reading, but what I would want is the ability to know when someone's thinking about me and like the kind of mood that they're in, not like words or anything or their thoughts, just kind of the moods, like if they're thinking of me and are they happy or are they missing me, that kind of thing. Because I'm someone who's always wondering if somebody's thinking about me when I'm not around. So that's kind of thing that I would want. Along with that, healing abilities, but not the physical, more of like emotional or mental healing. So that's what I would want personally. Oh my god, you guys chat's moving so fast. Does infinite money count? You forgot to add Aki to... Oh, I do need to add Aki to my thing. I thought I had. Is it not down there? David, go ahead and link Aki's stream in chat. Aki is really great. He does League of Legends. He's kind of quiet, but he's really nice. He's a sweetheart. He's from California. If you could give any animal the intelligence and lifespan of a human, what would it be and how would you make it your best friend forever? Honestly, that would be my cats. I have 2 cats. One, which you guys saw, they're not in here now. One you guys saw when I went on break earlier, my orange kitty, Porky, and then I have a tortoise shell cat, Tesla. So I would say my kitties, because they are already my best friends. If a guy that's much bigger than you and you didn't stand a chance, nobody wants to fight somebody with their ticket hair. Oh my god, Nick, no. Oh, wow. Do you know any famous Greek heroes, Rose? Or any Greek history or mythology? I was more into the Roman side. So not off the top of my head. Sorry, Panna. Swaggy, stop calling yourself new. You've been here for like a month. That's not new anymore. Let's see. Yes, honestly, the main issue with prompts for me is that I usually stick to specific themes and just need inspiration to keep the story flowing more than to find a story to write about. Yeah, my stories usually just kind of come to me. I do have one that I'm going to work on for NaNoWriMo next month, that is actually based on a Tumblr post. Actually, two Tumblr posts combined. But I would suggest watching my VOD from Friday, and then this VOD, the beginning of this VOD, when we're done, for the prompts, because I put the prompts up and then chat and I discuss both, like all the possibilities that could come from them. So I think that might help you with the inspiration a bit there. So I would definitely suggest that. Does Artemis count? Oh, yeah, there's Artemis. Jason, Diana for the Italians. Ooh, I want to be immortal. Be awesome and immortal will come, right? And he looks like a girl. Oh my god. Yes, a demon's gonna gush a little bit about Aki. He's got a bit of a crush. One truly dies when they forget about him, right? yeah, I have plenty of interesting ideas, but usually the inspiration lasts about 1,000 words. I feel like I'm being half-assed on my stories because of that, because my ideas are all for long stories. Let the stories flow. I will tell you that right now. Write whatever comes to mind. I often quote Christopher Paolini on my stream because he's got some really great advice, and he actually helped me at one point when I was working on something with like one of the most obvious suggestions, but it wasn't something I thought of. So Kazami Tempest, I would say this is what Christopher Paolini always tells people who ask for writing advice. Write every day. You can edit bad writing. You can't edit no writing. I will freely admit I am terrible at the whole write every day thing. I don't write every day. I really need to get back into that. There are times where I do write a shit ton within a short period, and then I'll write nothing for a couple of weeks, and then I'll do it all over again, kind of thing. So I really need to try to get back into it of writing every day. For writer's block, my best suggestion is pick up a pen and paper. When the words aren't flowing onto the computer screen, pick up a pen and paper and write manually, write by hand. For me, that breaks my issue of not being able to get the words to flow. Because I feel like it helps it flow a little better. And because when I was in high school writing these stories, I usually had pen and paper. I usually didn't have access to a computer until I got home from school. And so I would write by hand during study hall when I finished my work and everything. So those are my suggestions for keeping the ideas flowing. And also with the whole inspirational and lasting about 1,000 words, outlines, storylines. Write out your outlines and what you want to happen in the story, where you want the story to go, like, here, I will, let me pull it up and I will show you mine. Not that one. That's here, I'll show it this way. I have a bunch of notes for my main series that I'm working on. As soon as it pulls up, I'll show you. Okay, Nick. I'll see you later. Have a good one. Okay. So this is a document that has the entire notes for the entire series that I actually need to update because I made a bunch of changes recently. So I outlined what happens in book 1, which is what I finished earlier this year. And then book 2 and so on. And then kind of ideas about the world that I created for this and everything. So these really help me for when I get stuck. I'll look back at those and go, okay, this is what needs to happen next, and get through that way. Let's see. I've only been writing a few months. That isn't new. I've been writing a month. That isn't new. No, I mean, you're not new to my channel, Swaggy. Every time you say you're new, I keep thinking you're talking about new to my channel, and you've been here for almost the entire time I've been streaming. So 2 months. So I would not say that you're new, and you're a regular. You're here like almost every single time. I really love Immortals. I just can't find a way to make them. Yeah, Immortals are kind of tricky. Which is your favorite Gilmore Girls era? I actually did not watch Gilmore Girls Slam. I could never get into it, so I don't have an opinion on that. Tempest says, yeah, you have a point. I was writing every day, but thing is, stuff happened IRL that took me away from writing for 3 or 4 days, and that threw me out of the loop. And it took until yesterday for me to get to write again at all. So that was roughly 2 weeks because of 3. Yeah, and like life is gonna get busy. That's for sure. The manuscript I just finished earlier this year. I've worked on off and on for the last 13 years. So life gets in the way. Don't let it get you down. Just get back into it. It's kind of like riding a bike. Once you get back into it, it'll just go. At least for me anyway. So that's just kind of my opinion anyway. Find what works for you. In the next few weeks, I'm gonna right before NaNoWriMo starts. NaNoWriMo is National Novel Writing Month, for those of you that don't know. It's the month of November every year, and the goal is to write a 50,000 word novel in 1 month. So before the end of the month, so within the next 2 weeks, I'm gonna do a NaNoWriMo stream talking about different ways to make that goal, or to try to make that goal, and just different advice from various authors and things. So definitely come back for that one for sure. If you don't come back for any others, definitely come back for that one. I hope you come back for others, but definitely come back for that one. Let's see. And I would write outlines, but they always wind up vague by chapter 7 or 8, and often I simply lose the mood for the story by chapter 3 or 4. Okay. I would tell you, don't write an outline chapter by chapter. Do it for the overall book. Don't plan it out chapter by chapter. But just do it by overall book. Like if you're writing a paper. So I would say just do it for the overall book. Don't get too detailed. You're gonna want to get sort of detailed, but not like every little thing. Because if you get like super detailed, then you've basically written the story. Which, I mean, isn't necessarily a bad thing, but things will change in your story. It happens. And you have to kind of decide whether those are necessary changes or if they should just be done, kind of thing. Let's see. That's kind of why I gave up on doing them and just write normally, because I was only outline. Yeah. Definitely I would say that your outlines are too detailed then. Stick to more of the basics. That's just my advice, what works for me. You just kind of have to find the balance of what works for you. I'm gonna stay here so I'll get some ideas. Great. Okay, David, if you're still around, see you later. I will talk to you later. I can't even think about NaNoWriMo. I'm in a 3-month competition that allows you to stipulate your own goal and is basically for the sake of motivation, yet I barely write for that. I keep making new readers. Oh my god. So, if you throw me a follow on Twitter or go through my Twitter feed, you'll see some pictures of a chalkboard I recently put up, and you can see my corkboard and my whiteboard behind me. My corkboard has, this is all for one story right here, and it's all to-do lists and various research. And this all has, my whiteboard all has like random to-do stuff. And then I have a chalkboard. My closet door is right over there, just off in front of me. I have a chalkboard up on there, and then the back of my bedroom door over to my right has another chalkboard on it, and I have to-do lists on all of those. I'm a list maker. And my notes are always like super organized because otherwise it's all in my head all the time. I have to write it down. So I actually have, let's see, I have Presage, Cormanther, A Tattooed Heart, The Zombie Project, and I think like one or two other sort of ideas floating around in my head all the time. So I totally feel you on that. You kind of just have to pick one and go, kind of thing. Let's see. Deary says, I have parts of a main story, several spin-offs, and I keep making more and more characters. Yes! Oh my gosh, yes. Sometimes it's hard to stop the number of characters. So, yeah. I totally feel you on that, Deary. How do you feel about this book concept? IBM, UBM, LBM, Spin a Young. Oh my gosh, Slam, that's. I don't even know. Thing is, overall book is so vague that I have no idea. Hey, Cody! I'm here to crash the party and flip a table. Of course you are! Cody is our resident table flipper. Like, really, I get interesting initial ideas, but then I have no idea how to make them flow. But nothing that's anywhere near finished. I honestly don't know what to tell you about the flow part other than pen and paper. It's what works for me. I don't know if it'll necessarily work for you, so I mean, you just kind of have to, if one routine isn't working, try to switch it up, find something else. Take breaks often if you need to. I'm one that I will zone out and just work until the ideas stop, kind of thing. So there's that. I always improvise, is what I mean by how to make them flow. Yeah, no, that's pretty much writing is improvisation. I mean, you're making up something from nothing, kind of thing. So, a lot of it is just finding what works for you, what gets you going. Whether it's only writing a page a day, or a page every other day, or if it's writing, like I did, 25,000 words in a weekend, and then editing all of that in one day. That was a crazy weekend. So, I mean, there are times where you're not gonna write, and you kind of have to make your peace with that. Sometimes forcing the ideas is actually worse. So I don't know. Cody says, "Oh, I forgot. Following was a thing." It's yeah, no, it's all good. There are times where I forget to throw a follow too, so don't feel bad about that. Yeah, definitely follow me on here. I will toss a few commands in here for you guys. So you guys can find me on social media. There are some links for you. Where was I? Oh yeah, following was the thing, yeah. Yeah, everything I have about my writing is on Google Drive, so if I don't open that, I don't write. Yeah, I use Google Drive a lot because my computer crashed a couple of years ago, and I lost almost everything. Yeah, it was bad. Which is also how I don't have Microsoft Word. I have OpenOffice, because I didn't have a backup disk for Microsoft Word. Let's see. One. Yeah. Yeah, but I'll pick one and go. I kind of alternate between projects. Like the other day, I started working on character bios for not the Zombie Project, A Tattooed Heart. And then I made a few changes to some bios for my Zombie Project, which doesn't have a name, which is why it's getting called the Zombie Project. Which may just end up being its name. Cormanther went without a name for 13 years. Zombie Project can go without a name for a while. I'm looking over at my chalkboard right now. Yeah. So yeah, that's the thing. And bouncing between projects, as long as you've got good notes, can actually help you, because when you get stuck on one project, you can pop over to another and work on that, and it kind of lets your subconscious work through what you were stuck on and then come back to your project. So that works for me, at least. I just go and write, or I don't. It's really, yeah, no, I feel you. Yeah. There are plenty of times. It's more often than not right now that I am not writing, because I'm either working on stream stuff, I'm submitting query letters to literary agents trying to get representation for my manuscript, or I'm in somebody else's stream. So yeah, there are times where I am not writing. Yeah. I do. I'm only writing fan fiction, so it's automatically stuff. Okay. I do not have any experience writing fan fiction, so on that front, I can't help you too much. You should talk to my mod, Demon a Dragon 88, though. He is working on a fanfic as well. So you might want to connect with him at some point, and talk to him about, fanfic writing and stuff. I don't know if there's anybody else in my chat that I know of that writes fanfic, but if anybody else does, feel free to, you guys talk out that stuff. Those are all my commands. The main issue here is my mood swings induced by real life stuff, and then if I stop writing for a day, I stop a story forever. Most likely. I haven't resumed a single one of my old stories yet. Yeah, that can be tough. Because like I said, I didn't work on Presage for, gosh, probably the last 10 years, 8 or 10 years. And just recently got back into it. So, I mean, it happens. And I have stories from high school and middle school that I would like to revisit at some point, that were supposed to be short stories, but I can't write short stories, so they were like a chapter for an assignment kind of thing. So there's that. So I kind of feel you on that. Don't feel bad about the procrastination, unless you've got an actual real life deadline that requires these to be done. I would say don't stress too much over that. Let's see. I just noticed I gotta do a rename of my character. Been there, done that. You know this. Come on, Sagi. We've been over that. Do what you gotta do. If the name's not working, you gotta change it. I changed the name of 1, 2, 3 of my characters. 4. 3 in one story and 1 in another. So yeah, I've been there. How do you feel about when people add fruit to a salad, like apples or mandarin oranges? Personally, I think it's an abomination worthy of disembowelment. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of, like, fruit in, like, a regular, like, vegetable salad, like a lettuce salad. I don't know. Yeah, no. That would work if I did bounce back. I started writing in July, and I still didn't bounce back to a single project. Hey, as long as you're writing, that's what counts. I keep spinning new ones for some reason. Yeah, just let those ideas go. Just write them down, let them flow. And if you never complete one, you never complete one. It's cool. Don't stress over it. Because I can guarantee you, stress will stop you from writing. I had a self-imposed deadline for wanting to get Presage done, and it was bad. I missed those deadlines because I was so stressed about other stuff in my life, and my writing really reflected that. It was terrible, and I did not want to write. So definitely take care of you and yourself first, and then the writing will come. Trust me. But definitely, if the ideas are coming, even if it's not for what you're trying to work on, write them down. Absolutely, write them down. You can always come back to them. Always. I will show you. I've shown this before. One second. I keep notebooks nearby because you never know when ideas are going to strike. And over the last 13 years, these are all of the notebooks I've used for Presage. For note-taking, for writing the story, for every idea that comes up. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 notebooks worth for one story/series. One notebook so far for Cormanther. A sketchbook is also handy because there are going to be times where you feel creative, but you don't want to write. So I will get my creativity out that way, and then I can actually focus on writing better. I have at least one notebook for A Tattooed Heart. I don't think I even have a notebook yet for the Zombie Project, because I haven't really gotten into that too much yet. But yeah, definitely. Notebooks and sketchbooks. Alright, Sonic the Hedgehog fanfic. Oh my goodness, I don't even. And honestly, fanfic is the same as writing normally, in my opinion. The only difference is you're not world building and your characters are already made for. Exactly. I have a hard time writing within the confines of an already created world that like somebody else has already created, that like the world already knows. I prefer to create my own, because I really enjoy the act of world building. Two of my VODs cover kind of generic world building and then more in-depth world building, and how deep you can go with it. So I really like that. But that's just me. Some people do prefer the confines of a pre-made world for fanfic, and that's totally cool. It's not my kind of thing, but I know a lot of people that do. So I think it's great when people do it. And who knows, maybe someday when I do get published, I'll have people writing fanfic based on my worlds. You never know. Let's see. Though people tend to make some weird desires flow to their stories, I just write in the same kind of tone as the original series most of the time, but with a very different plot focus or large twist to it. I've tried several things, but my latest ones are Baby Steps, Kuroko's basketball cover crossover, a Fate series. Oh, Fate. As in Fate, Stay Night, and Ultimate Blade Works. Because I just might read that fanfic. And Fairy Tale crossover and a few other rare things like that. Stress will kill you. Yes, stress will kill you. The funniest thing is that every single one of my stories, besides the Kuroko one, was basically a ton of slice of life content and zero action, even though I definitely wanted to get to the action. Yeah, and like that's another thing is now I forgot what I was gonna say. Another thing is part of your problem maybe that you're trying to keep the tone of the original writing rather than using your own voice. So if you haven't tried already, is maybe trying to find your own voice, your own writing voice, your own writing style, rather than sticking to what the original was like. So that may be an option. Sketchy Rose, I like it. Yeah, I sketched during Skull Stream the other day of just like the random things that were said a lot, and stuff, and that's also on my Twitter. Skull, give me your skull. Skull, will you be my soulmate and let DYG give me a way out? Oh, slam. Cody's the soul guy. Yeah. Yes, this is Fate Stay Night. So that specific one was more of a Fate. I'm not familiar with that second one. Oh, actually, I actually think I'm using my own voice because it ends up the same tone in every series. Okay, well, yeah. It was awesome, by the way. Oh, thanks. It was seriously just a bunch of random doodles. I'm not very much of an artist. I'm more of like random things artist than I am like people and scenery type thing. I meant more that I don't try to make random weirdness like high school alternate universes or romance in a series where it doesn't fit. Right, no, that's good. It's like I had somebody ask me the other day if there was any romance in my series or if it was a romance novel or anything. I've not really read very many romance novels myself. My mom reads exclusively romance novels. I'm kind of the opposite of her. I'm not really too into it. So writing that kind of thing is kind of awkward for me, let alone reading it to you guys. But I'll put it in there when it needs to be, but it's not going to be super detailed. Like it might be a kiss here and there, or a kind of vaguely described bedroom scene kind of thing. Because the main focus isn't on the romantic side of the story. It's there, but it's not what the main focus is. So I don't see a need to have it be more descriptive than I made it kind of thing. So yeah, definitely, don't force that kind of thing into your writing if it doesn't belong. Skull is my brain twin. If I go brain dead, just give me his skull. Right? There you go, sis. Has anyone seen Arrow? I have not watched Arrow. If it's the sports series, I definitely write with a focus on the sports friendship action. All that. Yeah, definitely. Though my characterization for main characters probably sucks because they end up sounding very similar despite the different personalities and stuff. Yeah, I mean, here, I'm gonna do this. And if you want, oh no, did my bot die? What the? Oh, nope, there it goes. It just didn't, like, show up at first. Weird. Okay. That command I just typed in, that just popped up in chat, all of those are characters, major and minor. Or major and supporting, I should say, not minor. Major and supporting. Use those. You've failed the city. Use those as commands in my chat, and you'll get little brief bios about the characters in Presage. And so that might give you a little idea on how to vary descriptions and things for characters. I tried to leave out spoilers as much as I could. I'm going to just pick a few random ones here that might help you. So those might give you some ideas about character bios. Like I said, those are super brief summaries because there is a limit to what you can put in as the text. There's the character limit. I learned the hard way. Oh, you write in first person. I write in third. I find third flows better. I did originally write in first person, but with first person, you kind of limit yourself, I think, on the ability to jump between characters smoothly, because your characters are your readers are gonna forget that you're changing characters when you're in first person. So I prefer to do third person because then I can kind of bounce between characters within the same chapter. Yeah, it's not for everyone, that's for sure. I mean, there's people that prefer first person. How can you tell if you're writing first person or third person? First person is going to be like, what are some books that are written in first person? The difference is, like, first person is going to be, I said, rather than third person is going to be Rose said kind of thing. Well, if you have something like I was doing stuff and things instead of Kazami was doing stuff and things. Yeah. It's like my manuscript, Swaggy, my manuscript is in third person. If that helps you. So anytime that a character says something, like if I was writing from Rose's point of view, it would be I said instead of Rose said. Yeah, most people write in third. There are some people that don't. I'm trying to think if I have any. I don't even know. Usually, first is kind of reserved for nonfiction. But I mean, I've read fiction that was in first. It kind of just depends on. Yeah, okay. It kind of just depends on the writer and their style and the story. I write first because it doesn't really fit for some reason. Yeah, no, totally. Like I said, it's all depends on the writer and their style, honestly, whatever works for them. An example of nonfiction that is written in first is Black Like Me. I talked about this on Friday's stream too, for a completely different reason. But Black Like Me by John Howard Griffin is a nonfiction. He was a journalist, a white journalist in 1950s America. He dyed himself black and lived in southern United States in the 1950s as a black person for a time, and then washed all the dye off and did everything the same as a white person, and then wrote about the differences in the way he was treated, which back then was a very risky thing. No, it's not. It's not upside down. That's not upside down. That's right side up. It might be mirrored, but it's not upside down. I do have my stream open, so I do see myself. I see how it looks. I always have it open. Hey, Clef, what's up? We're just kind of doing a little Q&A right now. We finished up the prompts that we were doing on Friday, if you were here for Fridays. And I left it up to chat on Q&As and things. So any questions about writing, or either my writing or writing in general, or me, my life, etc. But yeah, what I tend to do is that I don't touch too heavy on emotions because I'm not good at that. I try to make some drama, conflict, but I tend to fail at making my characters seem emotional unless I actively seek to do that. And that can be a hard thing. That's why most characters I do seem similar overall. And that I would say then is something to work on as a writer. It's figuring out how to put those emotions in, so that you give your characters depth. The more you read, the more different things you read, the better writer you're going to be. Whether it's different types of fanfic or, regular fiction, nonfiction, etc., the more you read, the better you're writing. Pull on your personal experiences too. Well, it's tough to put them in if I have no idea about emotions IRL. Exactly. That's what I was just going to say. Pull on your emotions. You draw from your life experiences. The more you do in life, the more you're going to get. I've been through a lot of things in my life, and I think that really comes out in my writing. But also, like I said, the more you read, the more different things you read, the more you're going to see how different authors approach different emotions, and that will really help you as well. Like, really, I know what emotion is positive and what's negative, but telling them apart from one another. Yeah. Again, the more you read. As long as you can differentiate between good and bad writing. If you read through Twilight and you're like, man, yeah, I want to emulate that, then don't. Right? I have read Twilight. It's kind of so-so writing. I would say if you want more about emotions and good writing, like really good writing, Tolkien. Oh, I probably can, though I didn't read Twilight at all, so no comment on it. Yeah, you're not really missing that much. I rarely reference it on my stream, honestly, and I own it. I own all 5 books, actually. There's 4 books and a novella. So I've read it. They're not terrible writing, but they're definitely not good writing either. I was told my own stories seem to seem more qualitative and less like fanfiction. Despite being fanfic, I do my best to avoid being too fan about it in the actual writing. That's probably a good thing, actually. Because generally you do want qualitative over quantitative when it comes to writing. Because you could have a really good word count, but if you're not doing much with those words, if they're not really good words, nobody's going to want to read it. Hey, Bree! How's it going? Tolkien built so much into the world that the stories built themselves. Need to go on a journey? I already know 90% of the detail and physical, mental trials involved, and you emulate that approach so well. Yes! Yes, Tolkien and Rowling, absolutely. Ray Bradbury, yes. I've not read enough Anne Rice or Chaucer or Washington Irving to really recommend them. I would recommend Cassandra Clare, and her Shadowhunter series. I absolutely adore her writing. She's so good. Christopher Paolini is one that I will always recommend. If I have to read about Moose being beautiful anymore, I might stab someone. I still maintain Anne Rice, right? This may seem like a weird question, but I always wanted to read more, but no matter the time of day, when I open a book, it makes me fall asleep. Do you have a tip that could help me? Clef. I will be honest, when I first read The Hobbit, or I should say first tried to read The Hobbit, I had to put it down. I found it too boring. After watching the movies, that's when I finally sat down and read through it. There are times where a book will start off super, super boring, and you kind of have to push through it. Alternatively, there are times where you can't force yourself. I tried to read Wuthering Heights, and I cannot. I think I only made it past the first chapter, at most, maybe 2. That's how well I remember it. and some of my favorite authors actually have really boring parts in their books that I usually end up just kind of skimming through until it gets back to the better parts. So there's that. To me, the best books are the ones that kind of suck you in and like you get lost in their world and you kind of lose sense of what's going on around you. For me, that is Cassandra Clare, Christopher Paolini, Ken Follett, who else? Oh gosh, I don't even. Let me look at my. Sorry for the squeaky chair. My chair is terribly squeaky and I hate it, but I can't do anything about it. David Dalglish, and since everyone always asks how to spell that, I'm going to type it out. And his Shadow Dance series is exceptional, especially when it comes to like politics and assassinations and fighting and stuff. Excellent series. I haven't read the Tolkien books in a long time, but I should probably analyze them. I still have that huge Lord of the Rings book, which I have that too. I have the big thick one. Yes. Yeah, honestly, most of my writing only flows because I remember the actual animated scenes and voiceovers and stuff while I'm writing. It helps a ton, both on reading and writing. When I am writing, I actually have a YouTube playlist that I just put on repeat and let it play in the background. For me, that helps with the stories and everything. So I guess I should try and tackle different styles until I find one that seems to stick. But yes, if a book is not interesting, that's probably not the right book for you. And there have been ones where I've read the back of the book and I'm like, oh, this sounds great. And then I try to read it and it's like, oh my God, no, I can't read this. So I mean, it's going to be hit and miss, in general. The most recent one, was, Devil in the White City, which is apparently a nonfiction, which I thought was a fiction, that is, set in Chicago for the 1930s World Fair. It's supposed to be about a serial killer that stalked his victims from that time period and during that time. But literally the first 4 chapters are just talking about the investors and like them trying to make it happen, trying to build the World's Fair. It is so boring. There's like a 3-page chapter at most, maybe not even that, talking about the serial killer within those first 4 chapters. And that was probably the most interesting chapter ever. And it was just him arriving in town, basically. That's it. And that was the most interesting part. And I didn't make it past, like, the 4th chapter. It was so boring. Anyway, I need to go take a bath, once you've replied to what I said. Not much to ask about for now, so yeah. We should run up. Okay, yeah, go ahead, Kazami. And feel free to shoot me a whisper on here anytime, or, tweet at me or whatever, and I'll answer as best as I can to anything. I'm actually making a short story. Hopefully it will be decent. Like I said, I'm terrible at writing short stories. My ideas just get so long, and yeah, I can't. I have a hard time writing short stories now. But yeah. I don't mind reading short stories, but I am terrible at writing them. Yeah, bye! You guys have come up with so many great questions today, whether they were about me or writing or anything. Maybe we should end all the streams with this. I know we started off with some kind of goofy story, stories and questions and stuff, but I have 3 pages. That's not bad. I mean, I'm trying to think. I think most short stories are like 30 pages or less, maybe. I could be wrong. Like I said, I don't write short stories, so I don't I don't have a lot of knowledge about short stories. I freely admit that. um, but yeah, I mean, if it works, it works. You know. I actually started writing some short. I don't want to call them short stories because it's not exactly a short story. I was writing kind of the backstory almost of one of my characters for Presage. And that ended up actually ended up getting added into Presage when I found out that my manuscript should have been longer than what I thought it needed to be. So there's that. Which sometimes can help also with trying to figure out where a story should go, is if you focus on a different part of the story, that can help as well, instead of, you know, basically beating your head against the wall about the spot you're stuck in. So there is that. I'm trying to think of any other questions I've been asked in the past few months since I started streaming, and anything else. I said, if you guys have questions about anything, writing or otherwise, you know, I'll beat my head against the wall if I want. Yes, you would, Skull. But yeah, if you guys have any questions about me or, you know, my life in general, writing, etc., go for it. Otherwise, we'll probably wrap up the stream here in a bit, if nobody else has anything. I'm in a fight scene at the moment. I've never done action. David Dalglish, the one I just told you guys about, excellent writer of fight scenes. So definitely, I would suggest pick up his first book at the very least. A Dance of Cloaks, I think. Let me see if I can find you guys a link for him. I know he has a website that has all of his books on it. So yeah. Let me look up here. That way you guys can. Let me see here. Books, Shadow Dance. Oh, there's a novella I didn't know about. Oh, dude. Sorry. Slight fangirl moment. This doesn't have all of the books in the series, but it has the first, like, 4 listed, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dance of Cloak, Dance of Blade, Dance of Mirrors. Yeah. Because there's a total of 5 or 6, I think. Maybe more. I know there's at least 5. So I would say pick up A Dance of Cloaks to start with for fight scenes, because he is really, really good at that. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else that's good with fight scenes. There's some decent fight scenes in Cassandra Clare's work as well. I'm drawing a blank on some things here. I keep turning around because my my bookshelf is in the corner of my room. Divergent has some decent scenes too. The Divergent series by Veronica Roth. Is decent. So yeah, those are my suggestions for fight scenes. I do have to stop within the next hour so I can make supper for my kids. So at the very most, we've got another hour left. Unless you guys have run out of questions or thoughts, etc. I know Clef had been asking about my manuscript the other day when I popped into his chat. So Clef, have you got any other questions about my manuscript? Head hopping. Something like that, yeah. I was gonna do something else and now I forgot what it was. I'm just trying to think of things. No. Okay. So yeah, if you guys don't have anything else, we may just go ahead and end it here. And I will be back hopefully on Saturday. I start a new job on Monday, tomorrow. I have an orientation. So I'm not sure if it'll change my streaming schedule or not, but I will be sure to let you guys know. Here is my current schedule. That's my current schedule. This shouldn't change too much because on weekends I'll only be doing a couple of hours per shift on weekends. It's weekdays that will be the longer days. So that may affect my streaming on the weekends only slightly. I might start at 1 instead of 3 and it might be shorter kind of thing, but hopefully it shouldn't change too much. Thank you. Sis, will you throw up the YouTube one as well? And then this is my blog, which I don't keep as updated as I should. I try. I have a YouTube one. I'm slowly but surely getting the YouTube videos up. Mostly right now it's just VODs from here. No, but it's YT. Exclamation YT. There you go. The abbreviation for YouTube, you know? YT. Right, like I said, right now it's mostly the VODs from here because Twitch only keeps them for so long before they're taken down. So for like VODs from the last couple of months of streaming, definitely check my YouTube. I will also be doing a read through, a non-Twitch read through of my manuscript, because a lot of times I do get distracted by chat during my read-throughs, which isn't a bad thing. But I'm sure there are people out there who would like to have interruption-free read-throughs. So I will be working on recording those hopefully before the end of the year. My live streams kind of take up my time a lot, working on stuff for those. But yeah, as of right now, that's what my YouTube is, and what it will be. Otherwise, you can follow me on Twitter, which Sis put the link in for me. My blog, my YouTube. Down below, I have some great streamers listed as well. Sis, if you want to give any shout outs to anybody, you know, the usual group. I think Skull is going to stream tonight. I think Shadow was planning on streaming at some point tonight too, or today. I know he wasn't quite sure about when he was going to do that. Let's see, who else do I usually pop into? Waffles, more Waffles, please. MOAR WAHFULZ PLZ. Did I really get here? Yeah, Pariah, you did. We started kind of early today, earlier than usual. So, yep, we're wrapping it up. Um, I'll be in school stream later though, Pariah. So there's that. We'll hang out and pull and school stream. Oh well. Yeah. So I guess I think that's about it. Thank you all for stopping by. I know we had some great viewers and some great discussion, which is always awesome. I love when you guys do that. Are there any other writers on? I don't really know that any of my mods really write too much. And all of my all of my recommended streams are gamer streams, with the exception of Midania, who is a crafter. So in terms of writing, I don't really know any other writer streamers. I'm sure there are on Twitch, on the Twitch creative side, but none that I've ever watched that I could recommend. Yeah. But as for like if you have Twitter, find me on Twitter and then go through who I follow, because a lot of them are literary agents and writers and actors and actresses. So yeah. But never thought to stream it. Yeah. No, I mean, I haven't written on stream. Hell, maybe that's something we'll do for NaNoWriMo, is you guys can watch me struggle to write. But yeah. Then yeah, it's lots of backspacing explosives and I write. Yeah. I honestly, I think writing, like watching me actually write, would probably be the most boring thing ever for you guys, because I don't talk, unless I've like figured out a continuity error or something. Maybe live editing would be a thing, but not. I don't know about writing. Yeah, so that could be interesting. I did finish all of my slides for Presage though. The presentations I do, when I do the read-throughs, I finished all of those yesterday while my stupid YouTube video was uploading. Don't get me started on YouTube uploads. I would, but no mic. You don't necessarily have to have a mic though. As long as you pop over, like keep an eye on your chat and reply with text, it actually might work. I mean, I know some fairly well-known professional gamers who quite often will not use their mic. So I mean, you don't necessarily have to have a mic. You don't even necessarily have to have a webcam either. I know plenty of streamers that don't use webcams either, so yeah. You'd have to be really, really good about popping back and forth. Emphasis on pros there. Yeah. I think it's mostly Team Liquid's Snoot. He is a StarCraft 2 Zerg player. He most often usually has his mic muted. Every once in a while, Bunny, on the rare time that he streams, will sometimes have his muted. Savige, who is one of their Hearthstone players, will sometimes mute his as well. So yeah, it just depends on the reason. Exactly. Usually, if you're watching pro gamers, you're watching to learn and not necessarily to converse with them. And they're more focused on the game they're playing than on their chat as well. Also, it's expected that they dedicate most of their time and attention. Yeah. Skull Streamer Riot. Bunny? Wait, Bunny who? Bunny. He's Team Liquid's StarCraft 2 Terran player. Pro player. He's actually my favorite Terran player. I'm actually wearing my Team Liquid shirt today. As ironic as that is. Here. Team Liquid. Kazami, we're actually kind of trying to wrap up. So you actually came back right at the end. Okay, not the bunny I was thinking of. Good. What bunny were you thinking of? Sounds lit. Sounds lit, right? Who were you thinking of, Pariah? Because I mean, there's a couple of bunnies. Oh, not familiar. No, Team Liquid's bunny, his real name is Patrick Brix. Brix. I was actually gonna say that I have no idea what to talk about right now. Anyways, no, we've kind of devolved into the random stuff. Okay, so I think we'll just go ahead and end it here, so I can eat something before school starts. School, what time are you starting tonight? Skull will be streaming tonight, I believe, so definitely check out him. I always lie and start early, right? Usually he goes, yeah. Usually it's like 7:30 Eastern. So in like an hour and a half. But I will throw him a host too. So if you follow me, you can always watch from mine, and then pop over if you want to. But I definitely recommend you check him out. He is awesome, and I said it earlier, but you kind of got to love the Buddha voice that he has. He has an awesome voice. Like, he should be a voice actor kind of voice. So you definitely want to stop by, if nothing else, for the voice. He's amazing. So I will see you guys all over there in probably about an hour and a half, whatever. Have a good night otherwise, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.